Good morning!
I use the term minor attracted person or MAP in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons.
Yes, sir!
Folks, my name is Miranda. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm a licensed professional counselor and sex therapist in Erie, Pennsylvania. And today I want to talk about minor attracted persons. And I want to talk about minor attracted persons because they are probably the most vilified population of folks in our culture.
Her teacher required her to memorize this and to act it out in front of her entire class. I don't love you. It's not you, it's just, I don't like your, or any in that case. I cheated, Joe.
But you don't want it for school. Can you tell me why?
Because last time I wore a dress to school, everybody called me a girl.
Oh. Well, what did we learn from My Shadow is Pink?
Even when you wear a dress, you're not a girl.
Today we choose to recognize, honor, love, and celebrate anyone here who would claim their identity publicly as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer or questioning, intersex, pansexual, asexual, or any category that I've left out.
This is Phoenix.
Why is it so important to all of you to treat us like we don't matter?
We've almost exhausted what we call, the fancy phrase, the drawdown authority that Congress authorized for Ukraine in a bipartisan spending bill last month. Basically, we're out of money. Basically, we're out of money. Basically, we're out of money. We also know that as our economy has come roaring back, we've seen some price increases. Some folks have raised worries that this could be a sign of persistent inflation. But that's not our view. Our experts believe, and the data shows, that most of the price increases we've seen were expected and are expected to be temporary. The reality is you can't flip the global economic light back on and not expect this to happen. Basically, we're out of money.
I'll wrap up by talking about the IRS. Now let's put the chart up. And what we have found from the Joint Tax Committee is that the vast majority of those dollars will come from the middle class. The administration claims $400 billion for this $80 billion spending, but the Congressional Budget Office says it's an $80 billion cost.
Basically, we're out of money.
My job title is a special agent. There are days where we do search warrants or arrest warrants, and we start really early with doing a briefing with everybody. And after the execution of the search warrant or the arrest warrant, you see the result of your work. For example, you've gathered the evidence that you need for your investigation, or you've arrested somebody and brought them into jail. So to me, seeing the result after all the long hours that I've put in is the reward that I see.
We noticed, Dr. Fauci, that one of the members of the CDC panel that voted to approve these new vaccines said he voted against it, among other things, because he said it has not been studied in humans. Should that give anyone pause?
I don't think so at all, for the following reason.
of vaccines that were in the same general category as the BA5 bivalent, which was a BA1 bivalent, has pretty good information that we've got.
Very quickly, you didn't want to get involved in the Ukraine conflict militarily for obvious reasons. Are you willing to get involved militarily to defend Taiwan if it comes to that?
Yes,
You are.
that's the commitment we made.
It is not about the nitrogen, it's about rearranging the public space in the Netherlands.
Let me bring you in there, because both Jérôme and Theo are saying that that nitrogen and the impact of nitrogen and ammonia forms a small part of the situation, that in fact this is about a wider issue, that the government is actually wanting to change the land use within the country. What's your response? How do you react to that?
My response is as follows. There is no doubt that biodiversity is affected by nitrogen in the Netherlands. There are numerous reports that are indicating that. So something needs to change, and not from an ecological perspective, but also from a legal perspective. And that's why the highest court in the Netherlands ruled that nitrogen depositions in the Netherlands and emissions should reduce by 50% in 2030.
It's not true. It's very hypocrite also. Whatever problem you look at, if it's nitrogen pollution, if it's methane, if it's CO2 or whatever, the use of antibiotics, Dutch agriculture is champion of the world.
The biggest contributor to emissions is, of course, the oil and gas sector in this country. So we put down a clear track for where the sector needs to go. Emission cuts are a little over 30% compared to 2005, a little over 40% emission cuts compared to where we are today. This will guide us as we develop our plan to cap and cut emissions from the oil and gas sector.
You're aware that there's all these memes about you on the internet now?
Yes, I'm aware of it. I'm sure not aware of all of them, but eventually people sent me some.
So a lot of them came from the New York troll board. We kind of started a lot of this stuff. And one of the big questions people have is, in your book you discussed that in a free libertarian society, communists would have to be physically removed, right? This became a meme. The question everyone has is, when you say physically removed, do you mean they will be physically distant, or that they will be physically picked up and pushed away?
They were physically distant. I believe what has happened in all Western societies is that people hesitated too long to host people in their midst, opposed all of the standards that apply to all other people, and there was too much tolerance towards them.
Sorry, Roger. Good impact. Target destroyed. Roger. Rolling.
All right, it always takes a minute or two to adjust when we get to. Fuck, hold on, I gotta rid of goals. I didn't have time to set up all this shit. Because Elon Musk is about to drop the story of the fucking decade. I mean, or it's gonna be really disappointing and like piss me off a lot.
I'm honestly expecting that's what's gonna happen.
I'm expecting the latter too, right? Like, but like, dude, if in a couple minutes if Elon Musk is like, and here's the names of the specific FBI agents that demanded we censor the Hunter Biden laptop, and be like, what the fuck? I'm expecting to be disappointed, but like, you know, like carefully hopeful that this is going to be like some insane fucking thing.
To me, for me, Musk has a tendency to oversell and underdeliver. So,
Yeah,
like,
I mean that's
I'm
just
not
pretty much on
expecting
everything.
much.
Yeah, like where are the tunnels, bro? Sorry, I'm just fixing my hair. I just got out of the shower not too long ago. And I cut my hair because, you know, people were saying I was starting to look like a fucking Appalachian ragamuffin.
Who said that?
Well, Policy Wonker, I think, said it. And then you were like, yeah, he looks really fucking unkempt. I was letting my beard grow because I... Oh, shut the fuck up with your, like, your gay ass fucking bullshit. Like, that's not what I said. Actually, technically what I said. Shut the fuck up, you gay ass nerd. You know, you said something close enough. I can't say the F slur, but that's all I want to repeat at you right now.
But wait till movie nights on Cozy or Comfy, because we'll have a lot more freedom to let certain words fly.
Yeah, and you can clip me and put me all over Twitter and be like, how dare he? And be like, yeah, I say fucking slurs. I don't give a fuck.
I say wild shit with my boys.
Right? Like, it's stupid. Now it's all fucked up. Hold on. Just trying to, like, fix it in some regard. Whatever. We're going to leave it fucked up. It'll fix itself over time.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what I can do with my scalp. Because I didn't wear sunblock for 27 years. And then all of a sudden I was like, I should really probably start wearing that more. And I think it's just too late.
Yeah?
Yeah. I just try to keep, now that it's colder out, I just try to keep my hood up at all times.
All right, so he deleted the tweet that said, wait about 40 minutes. Oh, no, he didn't. He put it in as a subtweet. We're double checking some facts to probably start live tweeting in about 40 minutes. It was exactly 40 minutes ago. So for anybody that's not, is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Elon just tweeted.
What did he tweet out now?
He tweeted out a couple hours ago. What really happened with the Hunter Biden story suppression by Twitter will be published on Twitter at 5 p.m. Eastern. And then, like, 20 minutes late, he goes, you know, oh, well, we'll, you know, we're double checking some facts, so probably start live tweeting in about 40 minutes. What is that haircut? I'm broke, so I cut my haircut. That's how that haircut runs.
I mean, it's better than an army haircut.
By like one of those little Korean ladies with like the vacuum attached to the fucking clippers. Just.
I was actually more referencing basic training, but yeah, probably one of those too.
Some of them.
Oh no, I never got my haircut there.
Flobies? Yeah, they basically have like an industrial Flobie at fucking PXs across the world. Military installations. Do you remember what the fuck PX stands for? I don't even remember what that stands for.
Post exchange.
Oh, that's right, post exchange.
And then if you're on a, I think it's just the Air Force. I can't remember who, which one, because everyone uses their terms interchangeably. But you have Army posts and Air Force bases. So if you go somewhere where the Air Force is owning the base, they're BXs, the base exchange.
Okay. Do I need to donate you haircut money? I'm gonna be real with you, sorority. I'm gonna have to make a lot more money before I start paying someone to cut my hair again. Like, if you donate me more money, like, it's just gonna go to like child support and like bills and like
Costco pizza
and Costco. Yeah, right. Like we might upgrade the food quality that we're eating. Like paying another person to cut my hair way down the list of things that I'm going to be taken care of with like money. So unless you want to be my sugar mama and donate me a lot of money, like, you know.
Easy now, Tiger. She's a married woman.
I'm just saying. I'm really fucking hoping that something comes to this and that it's not just some bullshit. I don't know. Elon Musk has been very iffy with me so far. Like, he's brought back a lot of accounts, but then he said shit about like why he won't bring back yet Alex Jones. You know what I mean? Like, he just banned Kanye West after bringing him back. I mean, not to say that he did that personally, but you get it.
For some reason, with every time we mention Kanye, I just think about the bad lip reading Game of Thrones video, and just Ferris being like, I can't sing you a lullaby. I grew up on Kanye's new stuff, or something to that effect. Even though that's like, we're all related to what's happening now.
Jesus, there we go. Sorry, chat. I had to pick a booger, and I did it right in front of you. But it's because I fucking trimmed my nose hairs. Yeah, I fucking did the whole shebang, man. You'll give me a gift card. I appreciate that. Oh man, dude, I am stoked. I don't know. I'm hopeful. I know that my hopes are about to get fucking dashed, but like, nevertheless, let us have a little bit of hope before we kill it. Here on my phone till my battery dies, but can't see chat on mobile. I'm sorry, Roland.
I don't know how to fix that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch YouTube live on my phone. I don't watch any YouTubers live. I don't watch that much content. Like, a majority of the content that I watch, you guys see me watch on stream. And then I'm just like on Twitter and I'm networking and I'm like writing down. I have like 7 fucking notebooks just full of like debate notes, research, random ideas, things I want to do for stream.
Yeah, usually when you're watching content, it's like hip hop reaction videos.
That's true. I do watch some hip hop reaction videos. Mark just fucking putting all the fucking details out there.
I thought you'd basically given up on having a private life.
Right? Apparently. Yeah, it's usually like hip hop reactions or or just listening to music or something. Hi. Or if I happen to be playing a video game, like how to make this game go by quicker. Because I don't game that much.
What? Yeah, fair enough.
Were you going to say that I do game a lot and then you realize how much more you game than me? Is that what's going to happen?
Actually, no, that had nothing to do with what I was going to say.
Oh. Mika, leave my green screen alone. Oh, man. Dude, I hope this is big. Oh, so anyways, while we're waiting, so what we're going to do is we're going to figure out what's going on with the fuck with Twitter and the Hunter Biden story. However long that takes. For all we know, it could be like 20 minutes. And then we just kind of move on and watch Kanye West and Nick Fuentes on InfoWars. Or it could be like the next couple hours. Regardless, at 9 p.m., I'm going on like some small panel. Some guy just started doing panels. Goon turned God. I don't fucking know. He started doing panels here lately. And there's a bunch of like small guys from Twitter, from Twitch that I've bumped into before, but you know, a couple other people I don't know, like somebody online. Remember the guy that like wore the hat and had like the old 70s TV thing? And Binks. I don't know, Double Shine will be there. A bunch of really small streamers. But I was just like, yeah, fuck it, I'll do it. Like, you know, it should be fun. Get in front of a new audience, talk to some people, you know, have a little bit of fun. I'm on YouTube, so it's not like I really give a fuck if my numbers hurt because I'm not talking to anybody big. You know, give back a little clout. You know what I mean? It's like we've been clout demons enough. Maybe we can give a little clout to some smaller people.
It is the Christmas season.
Especially if you think about the fact that we're going to be on YouTube, right? So people are going to be like, why is he not live on Twitch or something? Like, there'll be some people that'll see us that, for whatever fucking reason, don't come to YouTube.
And I'm sure we have people who don't come to Twitch.
Oh, for sure. We have way more people that don't come to Twitch. We have way more people that like just catch like the occasional debate on YouTube or something, and then like but don't like aren't about watching live streams in general.
Speaking of which, this week's panel going up tomorrow at 10.
Mm-hmm. And I'll be doing some work this weekend on a bunch of different stuff. We got to get stuff ready for the charity event for coming up for Christmas. You got to do a charity event in the month of December on the 13th.
All right. We are doing it on the 13th.
The season of clout giving, yeah. And then also next Tuesday. So the 13th is 2 Tuesdays. Not next Tuesday, but the Tuesday after that. But next Tuesday should be modern day debates with Jangles on groomer discourse. And that is going to be so much fun. I cannot believe he was stupid enough to take that debate. Oh, the confidence of... I'm just supremely confident that I'm going to make him look like a fool, and it's going to be beautiful. Hey, bitch, it's been 49 minutes. Are you still alive? From Billboard Chris. Oh, man. Still need Lincoln education?
Yeah, that actually is pretty... That's great. Is he still alive now?
I mean, yeah, right. It's a double entendre, like, where are you? But also, did Hillary Clinton find you? Do you have information that will lead to the
I don't know. Hillary might
Hillary
be more
Clinton?
than happy to let Biden get crushed.
I mean, who
like
knows?
I did all that work behind the scenes, and then when it was my time to be president, that bastard Trump shows up, and then Biden gets to just waltz right in there.
Right.
I'll fuck him right in his ass.
I mean, but it's probably... I mean, I don't know that any president had a major hand in it, to be honest with you. More of like a tacit nod and acceptance. Because, I mean, it happened during fucking Trump.
True. So
we'll see. We will see. So, yeah, that's what's on the agenda for tonight. The panelists. I didn't finish telling you the panelists. I don't even know who most of these people are. ZZ Alpha, Wasabi, Non-Smoker. Does anybody know who Non-Smoker is?
Fucking nerd.
I don't know. He's in Prime's Discord, and he's friends with Binks and Stardust. And then Alec Gunter. I feel like that guy, like, I don't know. He seems familiar, but I don't really know who he is. Let me see real quick. I feel like I've heard the name before.
He has FRFR no cap hair too.
Wait. Does anybody know who this guy is?
Does not look familiar.
He does not, does he? I don't know. I feel like I know the name, though. I don't know.
What are you doing there, Gunter?
Andrew Wilson is going to debate Naomi. Oh, God. That is a debate I want so bad. Like, I fucking destroyed this bitch, and she just, like, laughed it off and, like, pivoted. It was so fucking funny. Yay,
Naomi.
24? Oh, gross. Naomi is, oh my God. I think somebody, some trans person liked her tweets here recently. Let me see if I can find it. So I don't have to, like, search for it. Fucking... Where are you at? Where are you at, bitch? No, it wasn't that far back. Hold on. Where is... here we go. There you go. I wanted this debate so bad. Because Blair White was like, what the fuck is Dobby... Dobby is trans now? And they were like, do you think it's
I can't tell if that's... Is that a Harry Potter reference or the Discord politics server reference?
Oh, no, it's a...
People change their...
It's a Harry Potter reference.
Oh,
This is
okay.
Naomi.
Wow.
Andrew's about to start debate. Is going to debate this person in a couple hours.
biological sex, let's talk about the science of trans biology. Clinicians and biologists understand sex as a composite variable, one that has many attributes, including chromosomes, reproduction, hormones, and anatomy. When a trans person undergoes hormone replacement therapy, It changes many aspects of their biological sex. HRT gives you a hormonal profile identical to that of the sex you transition to, which induces real biological changes in your body. For trans women
I
on
highly doubt it's identical.
It's not.
HRT, we develop real breasts. Also, female.
You don't. All humans have breast tissue, and you develop buds. Like you don't develop the ability to feed children. You don't develop like the complex fucking network of ducts in breast tissue. Like no, you don't. Lactate. Yeah, like all men can lactate if you pump hard enough, but it's like you don't develop breasts other than the ones you kind of already had. Like you get buds. It's something different.
Develop real breasts. Also, female skin texture, female body odor, female body fat distribution, female hair patterns in both body hair and head hair, female muscle mass, female bone density, and even female bone structure if we start HRT early enough. HRT also affects
No. Like you develop something in between, right? In terms of a distribution, but it's all fucking like every cell in your fucking body, with the exception of like red blood cell platelets and like a couple other cells, read you as a male. Like you don't develop female reproductive systems. Yeah, sure, you get larger hip bones, you know, if you start HRT early enough. Yeah, sure, your bone density's fucked. Like that's not a selling point of femaleness. As a fucking HRT fucking up your body.
Fertility, meaning that it changes the majority of your biological sex characteristics. A trans person in HRT ultimately obtains an intersex collection of biological traits that places them more in line with the sex they transition to than the sex they were assigned at birth. And it's important to classify us as such. For example, my doctor needs to know that I'm hormonally female, because my risk of heart disease, bone disease, and most cancer.
Right. So now they're hormonally female. Like, so basically, I mean, I'll finish.
Is in line with females due to the reality of my biological sex. Trans people aren't denying or erasing biological sex. We just prove that it's more complicated and changeable than we previously thought.
Right. So her argument is that like trans women are females.
Hormonally.
So then I just said, trying to use the logic of homeostatic property clusters to sex. This is illogical. These properties are affixed to sex assigned at birth with low deviance. Altering them to mimic another sex doesn't make it mutable, but we both know that's above Blair's head. You just want clout. Because like Blair doesn't talk about like logic and philosophy at that level, right? Like she just recognizes a fucking weirdo saying dumb shit. And then they go, the phrase, "this is illogical," is doing all the work in your claim. What? No. I explained why it's illogical. You can't use homeostatic property clusters to something with incredibly low deviance and then utilize that to try and move it from one property cluster over to another property cluster. That's not how that works. Like the whole point of a homeostatic property cluster is that there's low deviance. You can't point to any actual reason why analyzing sex under this framework is illogical. I literally did. And mutable just means that something can be altered, which you literally admitted is true about many sex characteristics. So then I responded, sex is a fixed category. Using altering of secondary sexual characteristics and consequences of sex via homeostatic property clusters only fools those who don't understand logic. Your argument is soundly defeated because your analysis is based on faulty logic. Response. Once again, you can't explain any reason why my framework is illogical. Bitch, I just did twice. So you're just letting the phrase faulty logic do all the work. No, I explained why it's faulty logic. You're begging the question once again. I'm not begging the question because I included a sentence before this. I'm disappointed that you would just repeat your logical fallacy to me. It's not a logical fallacy. I'm not begging the question. I explained why before the statement. And then I said again, I've literally explained it twice. You cannot use homeostatic property clusters to analyze a fixed category to show variance in the consequences of the category as proof of the category not being fixed. It's a non sequitur. No, her argument is that trans women are physiologically trans women. She's saying they're not physiologically male. She's saying that her physiology has been altered and is no longer strictly male. No, it literally is. She's trying to be a gender abolitionist. I see through your bullshit. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna fall asleep while driving. Well, don't fall asleep. Just leave the stream if I'm, oh, so boring. And then she just goes, why can't you? Many of the category properties aren't fixed, which shows that there's at least some mutability. Not complete mutability, but some mutability. That's been my claim the entire time. Your feelings are getting in the way of logic by presupposing your conclusion. I responded. LOL, then you're not talking about sex. You can say, let's talk about how we perceive the consequences of sex and how surgery, social transition, antigen therapy, HRT, etc. change the second and third order consequences of sex. This does not change the thing itself. What's taking Musk so long? Fuck if I know, dude.
Probably the FBI agents arresting him right now.
Right? And then she responded, get this, she responds with, you're relying on presuming an outdated model of biological sex, one that the scientific and medical community are moving away from for good reason, right? So then it slips, right? Which is the idea that I want to abolish the idea of sex as a fixed category. I'm a gender abolitionist, right? Here's a couple peer-reviewed articles on why, which, by the way, neither of these are scientific articles. They're just, which she doesn't say. They're peer-reviewed articles, which is meaningless because neither of these are a study. They're not even a meta-analysis or a literature review. They're just people making claims. And then I said, sex is not a spectrum, right? Because that was one of the claims from one article. No matter how many activists work to erode the philosophy of science. Your second article attempts to interject social factors into defining sex, dismisses adherence to biology, and references John Money like it's a good thing. I'm good. Like, it literally talks about, like, the great work that John Money did. And then she says, not surprised that you missed the point entirely. The article is pointing out how legal definitions of sex have been unscientifically influenced by the socially ingrained beliefs of people like you. But you're welcome to keep coping and denying peer-reviewed science. Neither of these are science, by the way. They're just fucking opinion pieces. Yeah, I'm doing that. I didn't read the entire article you're using to pivot. I am aware of the growing body of pseudoscience informed by critical gender theory that has become pernicious. And then this person said, you folded harder than a long chair. Like, no, dude, I'm not reading your fucking articles. Like, I read them long enough to realize that they're fucking batshit insane. Do you understand that physiology is not strictly linked to genotype? Expression of a genotype is mediated by the homeostatic environment of the organism. It's not a one-to-one relationship. Her original claim was about sex. You don't need to move the goalpost for her. What the fuck is Elon doing? All right, let's see if he did anything. I got some notifications. All right, whatever.
Yo, is monkeypox still a problem?
Nah, monkeypox just kind of disappeared because it's not an issue. It's not that contagious.
Take your word for it.
I mean, it's just not. The monkeypox variant that we have is presumably like more contagious than smallpox, like is what we were fearing. Appears that it's just not. And it's far less deadly.
But that's usually what'll get a new disease out of the news. Oh, it's not killing enough people? Don't care.
I mean, you know, fair enough, but like you know, like if something's half as lethal and quadruple as infectious, then it's really doubly lethal.
Again, I just talked about like pure lethality, where it's half as lethal.
Let's assume
not killing enough people. It's just not killing enough people for them to like report on it. That's all I was talking about. Distract.
Yeah. I've always said that trans women are trans women. That they exist in a liminal space between male and female. Like my definition of male and female, latent prion, is like let's for female, I just say the socially constructed role inherent to the biological to the adult human female, right? Socially constructed role. I'm not like the conservatives that are like adult human female, and it's like, okay, well then what the fuck is gender if it's just synonymous with sex, right? There's obviously like social factors and behavior and like certain things that people do to mimic that. There's socialization into like what it means to be a woman, etc. It's just, you know, like, but the idea that trans women are women is something that I take issue with because it doesn't make any it's completely illogical. There's no logic that justifies the idea of saying trans women are women. At the same time, I would say the same thing against TERFs and fucking conservatives that are like trans women are men. It's like, well then what the fuck is a man? Oh, well a man is just an adult, you know, just an adult human male. Okay, well then same fucking problem. When I see someone with fucking breast buds and a bunch of surgery enacting many of the stereotypical roles of a female in society, right? But is incapable of some of the things that are kind of inherent to the sex. And, you know, I'm supposed to call that a man? Well, then man doesn't make sense. That story of the boy that grew up with wolves and acts like them, is he a wolf even though in his mind he thinks so? No, he's a human, whomever he is, and he likely has what is it called? Feral child syndrome or something?
That sounds right, but I cannot confirm or deny.
I think I'm off by like a word. What's like what is it? What is the actual fucking? Like I don't even know that it. Look, there's one raised by wolves. There you go. Yeah, I mean they're feral children. I'm just trying to think like what is the actual what's the actual diagnosis for feral children? Is feral child in the DSM? I highly doubt it. Reactive attachment disorder. Rare. I mean, it's a fucking extreme case of reactive attachment disorder, though. I mean, I guess it's reactive attachment disorder technically, but like you're like, there's something else about the socialization process of growing up in the wild that's like different. I understand what you're fighting against now. Well, keep in mind that when they say trans women are women, they mean that they'd like you to treat them as women in social interactions. No. Some mean that, but some are gender abolitionists, right? I'm fighting against the political aspect of gender abolitionists. I'm not fighting against fucking trans women that just want to be treated fairly and with dignity and respect. You know what I mean? Like, now granted, I don't have any duty or responsibility to treat trans women with respect. I want to treat trans women with disrespect, then they can fuck right off so long as I don't aggress upon them. That being said, like, I don't tend to disrespect trans women at least in any higher rate than any other group, unless they're assholes. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're an asshole to me, I'll misgender you. I won't do it on a space where I can get my like account banned, but I don't give a fuck about you. I don't know who you are. Like, if you're a dick, I will treat you like such. But if you're chill with me and like you're trying and like it's very clear that like, you know, you're trying to live in a different gender, like I'm not gonna like intentionally misgender you just because I'm like, oh, fucking, you're really a man. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, no, yeah, sure. I would say most probably do want that, except they don't get to speak because it's the trans rights activists that get to do all the speaking. I assume that they don't actually mean that they expect a physician to treat them as a woman, for example. I mean, some would, but that's an even smaller category. The reason for gender is to identify and explain biological and psychological behaviors, also makes labels easier. I mean, I'll agree with that in terms of like utility of language. Well, opinions are like assholes. Everyone has one. You know, I'm not a trad con. I'm a libertarian. You know? But like, no, I feel like I'm pretty fucking clear with my positions. I'm against trans rights activists and I'm against gender abolitionists. Because they're fucking illogical people pushing pernicious ideology. Why would something so stupid replace actual political discourse? Because the philosophy speaks through people, and it's just the next version of leftism, right? You know, Marxism failed, so critical theory had to be invented, right? Critical theory, you know, envelops and controls sociology departments and, you know, partners with postmodernism and, you know, creates deconstructionism, right? But then it's like, you know, those ideas become unpopular. The philosophy kind of has to keep the ball rolling. It's this snowball effect, right? So it has to encapsulate different cultural institutions. And so it can't just stay in the domain of class, and it can't just stay in the domain of language, right? It has to evolve. It has to keep the snowball going. So it goes from class, from language, and then you get critical legal studies, right? And with critical legal studies, you know, at the same time, you get queer theory, right? So you have different institutions. So the behaviors of homosexuality and sexually deviant behavior, right? And then homosexuality kind of gets pushed out of queer theory as it evolves, right? Because it's not deviant enough. And trans becomes part of that discussion along with the amalgamation of critical gender theory coming in, right? So you have kind of like a two-pronged philosophical approach with all the other subcategories. It's just the philosophy speaks through these people. Most of these people are like, they're just critical theorists naturally from their education and indoctrination, and consequentialists in like most domains of their life. So it's just natural that this happens. So you're like, well, why does this have to infect political discourse? Welcome to leftism. Because gender's real. Because it's inherent to biological sex. Because it's a cultural institution, and because I don't like fucking commies trying to destroy hierarchical structures because of all the other loaded baggage that comes with it. Sodomite? Why are we talking about sodomite in chat? Jesus fuck. What is wrong with you?
Man, she gets wild on YouTube.
Right? I'm a fucking sodomite many a times with both females and, you know, physiological females.
Interesting.
What the fuck? Where the fuck is Elon with this shit?
I'm telling you, I think we're gonna get a news report tomorrow about the death of Elon Musk.
Someone just said if Hillary's people are here, just say it, Spike Cohen. Oh fuck. All right, well fuck it. We'll stay tuned and we will I'm ready to watch fucking Kanye, man. I'm ready to watch Kanye on InfoWars. This shit looks wild. Right? We got a couple hours to kill before and we can't watch it on Twitch, which is why we're doing it on YouTube tonight. We can't do it on Twitch because, you know, Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones are both banned off of Twitch. So if I show it, then they'll report the stream and get it taken down. Because Twitch is fucking stupid like that. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Imposing gender roles on people? Nobody's imposing gender roles on anybody except later on tonight when we're debating Qatar. This pseudo like openness, like, oh, everything's good, like just be open and accepting and like, you know, destroy these, you know, these ideas of these categories that just hold us back. It's just a really nice way to talk about like destruction of institutions and cultural institutions, the ability to socialize and the ability to categorize. It is an attack on the ability of on categories themselves, and it's just playing through one fucking cultural institution at a time. Like Fuck off. Owen Benjamin finally got the respect he deserves. I've been telling people for a long time how Dave Chappelle is a hack. Dude, what? The respect Owen Benjamin deserves? Look, Owen Benjamin can be funny sometimes. So that dude swallowed way too many red pills. And he's off on fucking Crazy Ranch. Though I do think Dave Chappelle stole his fucking bit. About the LGBT community and hopping in the car. And Owen Benjamin's was better. How do I play? Do I have to exit out?
Awards, right?
All right, let's go.
Is our guest.
For the record, I am so stoked to see bipolar 1 disorder on full display for the American public. This is so obviously, from the clips that I've seen, a manic episode. Bro, are you a softie? What does that even fucking mean? Oh, fuck, dude.
I don't know.
Bro, I say dumb shit.
Guest, he's going to be here, he says, for the next 3 hours or so, and also America First leader, and that is Nick Fuentes, Ollie Alexander, Owen Schroyer.
Hold on. Owen is batting 1K ahead of the curb. I mean, Owen's funny sometimes, but he says wild shit. Like, you know, the moon landing didn't happen.
And many others are also going to be coming through here today. And Ye has arrived in a new ensemble here with us, but I'll assure you it is Ye. Ye, thank you so much for coming to Austin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Well, where would you like to start? This first little 5-minute segment is just kind of a prelude to what's coming up. What do you want to cover here today?
Just God runs the world and Jesus is the way and the life. And it's time to put Jesus first in the way that
He is the way, the truth, and the light, and none shall get to the Father except through He.
Can you not? That's so fucking creepy.
What, did I know some scripture too?
Oh, man, dude. Oh, fuck.
I went to Bible camp for like a long time in my youth.
Dude, fucking, I'm so glad I never had I had to take communion and shit like that. I had to do a bunch of shit in college to study the Bible, but God, man, I'm glad I never had to do anything weird like that.
Yeah, no, I went to like a summer camp where a big part of the day was just spent memorizing Bible verses so that you could recite them to the counselor and get points.
Dude, I'm just real quick. I know that I have to ignore the trolls, but ha 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 ha, you're like one of the last people that believe that debunked fantasy. How much of a fucking echo chamber do you have to be in to think that there's an extremely small group like that you can count on your hands of people that think we landed on the moon? Like, how much of an insane fucking echo chamber do you have to be in to think that, like, that's an extremely small minority opinion? I hate to break it to you guys, man, but, like, most people are aware that we landed on the moon. Now, did we fake some footage? Yes, we did. Are there some questions that I have about how we lost telemetry data? Yeah. Is there money being funneled through NASA that then gets moved to other organizations so that taxpayers can have money sent to NASA and it really just ends up in like CIA hands and shit like that? Because NASA's just like, oh, well, we can't go back to the moon. It'd be too expensive. Yeah. Yeah. Like there's some fuckery that goes on that. But the idea that we didn't land on the moon is just silly.
we run our businesses, the way we run our families, our businesses, and the way we run our country.
For radio listeners, we're on over 400 radio stations. They can't see you right now. This is a new look for you.
I love that Alex Jones is even like, I have to address what the fuck you're wearing right now. Like,
that's pretty great.
Oh no, I've been wearing a mask for a while.
Ah.
Yeah.
So this is an archetypal example that the mask is off by putting the mask on.
People can take it how they want to take it.
There's no plan behind. There was no fucking point behind it. That's exactly what that head done. Like, I don't have any line of bullshit for this.
Yeah, no, like fucking Alex Jones is trying so hard to give him an argument just to be like, right? Like, dude, this is so sad, man. I mean, it's funny because, you know, but at the same time, like, this is just a legitimate mental breakdown that the entire world is seeing.
It's just,
I feel like
you know,
I've
it's
seen too many
interesting if you
videos
look
start
at
off
a
guy
Michael
in a full
Jordan.
face mask like this.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Doesn't usually go well for the other people involved.
Yeah, it's usually a robbery. Is that a race thing? Are you saying that because he's black?
No, I was trying to make a porn reference, actually.
Oh, okay.
Dude, look at the eyes of the mask. They zip close.
Yeah.
Super creepy.
You know he got that at a fucking sex shop.
Apparently it's Balenciaga.
Oh.
Jordan or something, you would load up all these pictures and he's smiling and he's holding a basketball, he's jumping from the free throw line, and then you look at Phil Knight and you barely can see a picture of him and he's got his face covered. So I don't have to show my face, it's me. That's my right.
Absolutely. Well, that's what Hollywood wants to do, though, is to control everybody through images.
Exactly. So I'm in control of my image now. It's no longer the people that froze my account. It's no longer the people that threatened me. We've got past the threats. They tried to throw me in jail for the truth. And
did they also get Elon Musk? Because Elon Musk still ain't said shit. Islam and Christianity are amazing tools to organize expanding societies/empires. I would say they're fairly outdated. There are better ways to do it. But at the same time, Western secularism hasn't figured out those better ways. It really is they, though, right? Yeah. Is it they or is it them? I don't even fucking know, man. Either one you want in quotations.
Preferred pronoun.
You know, people believe me. And people see that I wasn't crazy on what I was talking about. And they tried
No, that is not what people see.
to write it off, and they keep trying to write it off. But the truth is, the more and more I'm faithful to Christ, the more and more he's going to keep unlocking the blessings. You know, he set it on my heart to build communities, to build farms, to build schools, to build the choir. But when you do that, you have to be really obedient. Hey guys, could you not talk in the back? I'm like really hypersensitive to sound. If you guys want to talk, just go in the other room, please.
I don't know if you guys know this. I'm a rapper and a music producer and all sorts of other things involving audio. So like I'm real finicky about sounds.
No, actually, unironically, I'm with him on this one. Like, shut the fuck up. We're live on the air. If you want to talk, go into another goddamn room. Don't be fucking chit-chatting fucking in the background while I'm trying to speak. Like, if I went to a studio.
Unless it's like the production staff, like having to make quick adjustments to certain things.
Yeah, like, but if they're just like.
And he's just being like, because it's not on our end. Nobody can hear it on this side. So it could be him just being like.
Yeah, because they have nice cardioid microphones. You know what I mean? Like, we have shit microphones and still pick up shit in the room. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, we don't know what was going on in that room. We can only see what we can assume is Jesus.
Yeah, I'm just saying, I'm with Jesus on this one. That being said, it's the voice in his head. No, this is one of the many flaws of religion, right? Is that like there's like two ways of knowing, you know, as Aquinas put it, right? Like reason and faith. The problem is that like when you have faith and it conflicts with reason, you're supposed to understand that your interpretation of the scripture is wrong in some capacity, that you're flawed in some way because it can't conflict with reason because God gave you logos, right? God gave you the breath of life, right? Like in the beginning was logos, and logos was with God, and logos was God, right? Like the paradox of giving you reason, giving you free will, if you will, right? So if you have reason and it conflicts with the nature of reality, the laws of logic, and then then it's wrong, right? And so when you're saying crazy shit and then you just kind of go wholeheartedly into this Christian faith and you use it as a shield. It was like all these people, all these naysayers, all of this like, you know, perfectly valid and logical arguments we can dismiss with this shit because I got faith in God and God's opening doors for me. It becomes, it's the danger of like that spirituality and like religious fervor is that like it's just the zealotry is just allowing him to maintain and justify his own manic state and narcissism instead of like examining what's fucked up with himself. What were you gonna say? It seemed like you were gonna say something.
Roland's saying we should check in on Matt Taibbi.
Okay, why? What do you mean?
He says Matt Taibbi should be tweeting out about the Biden laptop as well.
I mean, I was gonna follow Musk, but why? Like, am I supposed to follow like? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, here we go, boys. Here we go. It's starting. It's starting, boys. Let's get some music going. Oh, and it's Matt Taibbi. This is all we got right now?
I just said, like I said, it was in Discord.
Number one thread, the Twitter files. What you're about to read is the first installment in a series based upon thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. 3. The Twitter files tell an incredible story from inside one of the world's largest and most influential social media platforms. It is a Frankensteinian tale of a human-built mechanism grown out of control of its designer. Twitter in its conception was a brilliant tool for enabling instant mass communication, making a true real-time global conversation possible for the first time. In an early conception, Twitter more than lived up to its mission statement, giving people the power to create and share ideas and information instantly without barriers. Okay. So I have this, I don't like where this is going because it seems like it's painting this idea that like the algorithm and like the mechanisms of like AI like censored a story based off of like certain like, you know, uncontrollable factors. When we know that multiple FBI agents were directly involved and the Department of Homeland Security was directly involved in censoring things for the state. So like already I'm like, I mean, it might be an interesting addition to the conversation.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
All right, let's go back.
Like there's just not enough here for us to get any juiciness from.
Well, I mean, he's like tweeting now, so like we'll see if like he added anything. Here we go. There's 2 more tweets. As time progressed, however, the company was slowly forced to add those barriers. Some of the first tools for controlling speech were designed to combat the likes of spam and financial fraudsters. Slowly, over time, Twitter staff and executives began to find more and more uses for these tools. Outsiders began petitioning the company to manipulate speech as well. First a little, then more often, then constantly. Okay, all right. This is going a little different than I thought maybe. Kanye's net worth sinking below the 1 billion mark. Is God shaping him into one of the great saints for sure? Yeah, I mean, fucking read Judges, right? It's like happens to every single one of them.
Man, it really is rough being the left hand of God.
Well, this was 7 hours ago. Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. Well, they need to have it relevant to Twitter. Yeah, fair enough. Nice. YouTube show. Yeah. We do YouTube. Unless something happens, we're here every other Friday. Because we're live on Twitch, which is where the majority of our audience and everybody is. Every Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. till at least 10. Usually 11:30, midnight, sometimes later. Congrats on 1K. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, we've been waiting about a month for us to hear about monetization. Still no word. So we can't do the emotes and we can't do super chats or anything right now. But yeah, we're waiting to hear back on that. We're way over watch time though. Like our watch hours are like, I think they're now over, I don't know, I'd have to look, but I want to say we're close to or over 10,000. So we're way, yeah, I think we were at like 9,999 when we applied, right? So I'd have to check what it is now, but we way more than doubled the amount of watch time. So I don't suspect, unless they just don't like our politics, that we won't get monetized. We got to start doing more, and we're going to focus more on YouTube. That's why we're taking every other weekend off too. So I can like work on some YouTube exclusive content. All right, let's see what happens. Let's refresh. Come on. Come on. Half of it's me, just kidding. Oh, I see how it is.
Yeah, they're just not putting anything out yet. Jesus. You'd think this would have been like typed up already.
Yeah, you would think it would be like a copy pasta. You know what I mean? Like, especially considering how late they were. Or like, I don't know, put it on Medium or Substack or something.
Yeah, like actually be ready to go live with your tweets.
Or twit longer or something. You know what I mean? Though to be fair, it might crash one of those sites. See if Elon Musk has any reaction. Just here we go, popcorn. All right. Is this a joke?
Put the Joker up.
Yeah, I'm not clicking the sensitive content one.
Oh, but I'm so curious. What is it?
Wait, who is this John Henry's hammer? Hold on. Never before seen Twitter files have all the hallmarks of Russian disinformation. 18 former bureaucrats warn. All the hallmarks of Russian misinformation. Oh, but from the CEO of Twitter. Oh, I fucking love it. The CEO of Twitter is a Russian asset, boys. I love how that is already
you didn't
started.
read their handle, did you?
Something about most underrated comment, and probably a parody or something.
Fake news, are you? Yeah.
Yeah. But you know it's coming. The fact that somebody already made this so quickly is impressive, I'm not gonna lie. I gotta pause it again because you know YouTube. Probably because you didn't watch it as a kid. Like, I was a child when X-Files came out, and it was fucking terrifying. And like, my parents were like, you can't watch this. And of course, I would just like crack my door where I could see the television and hear it from my room and like watch it, like as a kid.
Yeah, I did similar things. But I watched it a little bit when I was a kid. I think I saw the Powder episode where that albino kid like gets sucked up into lightning.
Oh god, I don't really remember it, to be honest.
That's the only one I can remember because I was like, this show sucks. I just
hold on 1 second.
Oh, he's right behind me. What the hell is he doing? Oh dear. God, he's grabbed something, some kind of trinket or bauble.
I have a I want to believe mug. I want to believe, chat.
No, you don't.
I want to believe something. No, I really don't. Yeah, you're probably right. Like, I don't like. I don't really want to.
You should just smash that mug.
Is that your plan?
No, I'm not going to do anything. I don't break people's shit. Not on purpose.
Right.
I'm a naturally destructive person though, so like I just break shit.
Wait. What the fuck just happened? Wait, what?
I don't know.
Yo, did all of the subtweets just go away? Okay, here we go. That was weird. So 8. By 2020, requests from connected actors to delete tweets were routine. One executive would write to another, more to review from the Biden team. The reply would come back handled. Oh no. I mean, like, but we already knew this from The Intercept. It is interesting to see them admit it, though, that the Biden administration and
much like with the Fauci emails, that's the important thing. Is like now they have to admit it.
Yeah,
but I don't even know if it matters. Like, is the damage not done already?
Right. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, like every single one of these people belong under the prison, but like no one will get in trouble for it. We'll just know it as a reality, and then we'll just say, well, this is normal. I mean, like, what did we see the other day, right? Yeah, fucking libs of TikTok. Name names, facts. But like, I mean, like, we see the gaslighting is already begun. If we go, let me see if I can find it real quick. Give me just a minute, boys. Yeah, here we go. We watched this the other day, right? Like, the gaslighting is already there.
Moment, really, in terms of ensuring that Twitter does not become a vector for misinformation. I mean, are you concerned about Elon Musk says there's more and more subscribers coming online. Are you concerned about that? And what tools do you have? Who is it at the White House that is really keeping track of this?
So look, this is something that we're certainly keeping an eye on. And look, we have always been very clear, and that when it comes to social media platforms, it is their responsibility to make sure that when it comes to misinformation, when it comes to the hate that we're seeing, that they take action, that they continue to take action. Again, we're all keeping a close eye on this. We're all
right. So like the gaslighting has already begun. That like the internet was always about the White House has always been very clear about how we, handle misinformation. We've been very clear that it's the responsibility of all of these social media sites to, get rid of things that we deem against the narrative, right? Yeah, and they're just pretending like the First Amendment was never a thing, that or even Section 230, right? Like that's not even a part of it, even though Section 230 is not being properly enforced. Who is this Matt Taibbi person, and why isn't Elon Musk talking yet? Matt Taibbi is he's a journalist, but Rolling Stone, Rolling Stone magazine. That is who Matt Taibbi is. Here we go. 9. Celebrities and unknowns alike could be removed or reviewed at the behest of a political party. An additional report. I grabbed the first one under SI, defer to safety on the high-profile second one. An additional report from Democratic National Committee. Ooh, real James Woods. So this is...
He went hard as shit, though. Like, he really wanted them to fucking ban him sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the requests aren't coming from people at Twitter or from reports or from TOS. It's the Democratic National Committee saying these people need to be taken off of social media. At least presumably this is what the file is showing. Both parties had access to these tools. For instance, in 2020, requests from both the Trump White House and the Biden campaign were received and honored. However, what, bitch? The drama of this is killing me. Yeah, but again, was it the Trump White House or was it, the FBI under the Trump administration? I'd be curious. You know what I mean? Like, was the Trump utilizing censorship in the same way? It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, Trump's a fucking narc. Like, I'm sure he was like, we got to do something about these people lying about me. Fake news. Fake news. I log on to Twitter and I said, wow, everyone says I'm Russian misinformation, but I'll tell you who's the real misinformation. CNN, we got to take that down. Like, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Obviously, the left is more censorious currently, but it's not like the right don't have a massive fucking history with censorship.
Yeah, no, they like to do it quite a bit too.
Who the fuck is DMing me? Hold on, let me pull this off the screen.
I don't know.
Oof, I gotta respond to that later. Whoopsie.
Man, you
get mad at me because I don't put shit on the calendar. I said that I might talk to that guy again. I was like, I don't know, tentatively like 2 Saturdays from now. But like I got too much shit planned for Saturday. Oh, fuck. Here we go. Elon Musk. All right, let's see if we got anything else. No, of course not. Fuck, man. Why is this one tweet at a time taking multiple minutes? This is such
He's
a
actually typing them out live, probably with his thumbs on a shitty BlackBerry.
No, I can't imagine that he's doing that.
I'm just being pedantic and shitty. Because it's.
I really hope not. That would piss me off so bad.
Does this seem like a shitty rollout to this for anyone else? I tell you what, do you want to talk about Victor Salvo?
It's not. I don't know who Victor Salvo is. What does that have to do with this? Who's Victor Salvo?
I mean, it's just a weird detour we could take.
What? Why?
You know what? Probably not a good time for that anyway.
What? You just wanted to interject some random fucking serial killer reference or something?
He's not a serial killer.
Okay.
He is a problem though.
Okay, no, this isn't a bad rollout. It's just frustrating. Like, it's done on purpose to make sure that fucking the buzz freaks out and has us all on the edge of our seat. Like, he easily could have just wrote a fucking article and published the fucking article. I mean, why? Because that's what you would have preferred?
Yeah, basically, I think it's right. It gets all the information out quickly and all at once.
Yeah, I don't think that was the plan at all. I think the plan was to get as much fucking eyes on this as physically possible by doing it one little fucking tweet at a time to make the story go undeniably across the fucking world.
But it's all old shit. There's nothing new here.
I mean, this is specifically new.
Yeah, I mean,
Intercept. Nobody had this.
Yes, these actual specifics are new, but the information we can obtain from them is not. We knew this kind of shit was happening.
Yeah.
I want to get to the real meat and potatoes.
Yeah, they're dropping it a little bit at a time so that everybody can quote tweet and retweet.
Meat and potatoes.
Might as well. I'll retweet this, but I'm not gonna be one of those people oh my god, I gotta get the fucking clicks, I gotta get the engagement, I gotta fucking type.
Respond to every post.
I gotta respond to every post so that everybody gets the buzz. I'll wait till the fucking Twitter files are done and then I'll fucking quote tweet it. Give my opinion. It's promising old shit. What do you mean promising old shit?
No, it's old shit, but it is promising because there's real hard evidence in it.
Bitch, you don't fucking know. You're just guessing too.
I bet I'm right.
I mean, that's what I would guess as well, but I'm still asking what you mean. You're just no, this is what she means. Fucking, that's a good guess.
I mean, we'll see.
All right, 11. This system wasn't balanced. It was based on contacts because Twitter was and is overwhelmingly staffed by people of one political orientation. There were more channels, more ways to complain, open to the left, Democrats, than the right. Right, and then this is just a link to what is this? Top recipients: Ro Khanna, Warnock. Yeah, I mean, like we've seen this before too, right? Like we know that Twitter employees like donated to Democrats. What was it like? Yeah, here we go. To Democrats in 2022, $165,969. To Republicans, $451.
And I bet it was a rhino.
2020, you have 909,431,000 versus 14,000.
I wonder what was special about that year.
Slow posting for same reason streamers play intro music, waiting for people to join. Exactly. What was special about what year? The presidential election between Trump and Biden?
Yes,
that was
obviously
heavily fortified.
Yep, that was the joke.
You're such a fucking cunt.
I mean, only when people trample on a joke.
The resulting slant in content moderation decisions is visible in the documents you're about to read. However, it's also the assessment of multiple current and former high-level executives. Ooh. So this is the assessment from like a bunch of lefties.
Okay.
And he says, subtweeting here, okay, there was more throat clearing about the process, but screw it. Let's jump forward.
I agree. Let's jump forward.
Wait, what? Bitch, you can't go to 16 now. Wait, what? This is unacceptable. This is copy and pasted. How are you fucking up copy and pasting?
It's just such a mess.
Number 16, the Twitter Files, Part 1. How and why Twitter blocked the Hunter Biden laptop story. Because 2 FBI agents asked them.
But why did they want it blocked? That's the real question.
Right? I mean, like, who fucking knows? Dude, they really do have us, like, by the fucking balls on this. Really fucking stretching out our reactions.
That's why I figured we could, switch topics for a little bit. Let them throw.
I don't want to talk about weird serial killer, fucking pedophile, rapist, weird shit.
We don't have to talk about that.
What is it that you wanted to talk about so desperately, Mark?
No, we can talk about the Kanye thing. We just like watch more of that interview for a couple minutes. Like let him be wild for a few minutes, and we'll jump back over this wild shit.
All right, let's go. You're right. Let's watch a little Kanye flip outs.
But we have to be really obedient. Like one of the big topics right now is all of the pedophilia advertisement.
Obviously, because that's what Ye wants to talk about.
And my take on that is, there's one place in the Bible where it says God sees sin differently, and there's another place where it says, let me get out my phone. I can really pull up the exact thing it says in the Bible. The general gist, and we'll get back to it after the 5-minute break, is that you have to
recognize your face.
Stay strict to everything and remove as much sin as possible in order to serve God. And when people look at pornography, when a grown man is looking at a grown woman have sex on camera, you're still looking at someone's daughter, and you're looking at a lot of times someone that is the product of pedophilia. So people will engage in going to strip clubs or looking at pornography.
I didn't expect this turn. Just laying out the facts about fucking porn.
Yeah, no, I tweeted out a couple days ago. I just said all pornography is cuckoldry. Like it just really is. Like porn is just not good for you guys. Like just stop. Really, just stop watching porn. It's bad for you.
What about watching a lass take care of her own needs? Like it's just her in the video.
It's still
bad. Like it's not good, obviously. I'm just talking about like
solo porn isn't really cuckoldry in that way, but it kind of is because now you're like getting off to this girl that won't touch you, that won't be with
mutual
you,
masturbation.
that won't. No. It's not mutual masturbation because
Is
she's
that more like
selling.
a Dutch rudder situation?
No, she's doming you. If you're watching a solo porn, you're being dommed by the fucking porn because you don't get to touch her. She's not yours, right? Like she's not going to have your children. She's not going to be in a relationship with you. She's not giving you an ego boost. She's not making you a stronger or better man. Like you're just masturbating to some girl that's looking at you via camera going, look what you can't have, you loser. And then you're fucking like, you're getting all off to like this. And then you're fucking going about your day like the loser that you are.
I don't understand this weird judgmental attitude you have towards window shoppers.
But then the moral compass is like, oh my God, look at the pedophiles. But in a way, anybody who looks at pornography is a form of a pedophile also. Let's bank it all in. It's very
pause.
I don't think I can go to. I think I understand what he's trying to get at. Like, oh, if you're supporting the porn industry, you're supporting these abusive pedophiles who like created all these porn stars. But like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there'd still be a bunch of broken chicks who weren't, sexually abused as a child, who would go and do porn.
I don't think he has a point. I think he's just fucking rambling. These are the rants and ravings of a madman trying to put.
Well, then call me crazy.
Together.
Very simple. We're not going to be talking about all this moral code and these standards right here. It's either Christ said so or Christ said no.
Yay, powerful information. I totally agree with you. Back in 60 seconds.
What do you totally agree with there?
So
yay, powerful information there. I totally agree with you. We're gonna go to cut to commercial break. I need to fucking splash some cold water on my face after hearing that shit.
I need to go look at myself in the mirror and realize this was a bad decision.
Yeah, right.
It's too late to pull out now, though. I'm a real man. I'm a patriot. I gotta carry through.
It's too late to pull out. We don't pull out here at the Alex Jones Show. That's for those sissies that watch pornography.
Christ says no.
That's Christ says no. All right. Let that seed fall in the belly of a woman. All right. We'll be right back.
Oh, shit.
Join over 400 radio stations. Nick Fuentes in the studio. Everybody, tell everybody tune in now. Infowars.com/show. Let's break the internet today. Stay with us.
Yo, he did break the internet. All right. That's a good stopping point. Let's check back in.
Is Ye going to stop wearing mixed fabrics?
Yo, well, no, that's Leviticus. Those are rules for Levites. Like, yeah, he's not a Levite. He's good. Let's go.
But Christ said no.
Okay, that literally Christ did not say no because again, that's fucking Leviticus. That's Old Testament.
But those words come from God, and Christ is the Son of God. So, ipso facto, Christ said no.
Literally no, because he's not a Levite. Like, just no.
Yeah.
No.
No, it's fine. He's gonna have to switch over to mono fabrics.
Yeah.
The way he's moving it,
but
it looks
also
like he wants to go real hardcore history with it and like really live the Bible.
Or no. 17 on October 14th, 2020, the New York Post published Biden's secret emails, an expose based on the contents of Hunter Biden's abandoned laptop. No shit. 18, Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links, posting warnings that it may be unsafe. They even blocked its transmission via direct message, a tool hitherto reserved for extreme cases, example, child pornography. Also, are we going to mention the fact that they banned the New York Post? White House spokeswoman Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story, promoting a furious letter from Trump campaign staffer Mike Hahn, who seethed, quote, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. Right? Again, this is all old news, but we'll read it again. Kayleigh McEnany has been locked out of her account for simply talking about the New York Post story. Yeah, I mean, like, the idea that that Twitter was this free speech place, but was doing the bidding of the FBI and the Democrats to lock out the White House spokesperson. Like, this is the person that leads the press corps. Like, what the fuck? All she did was cite the story in firsthand reporting that has been reported by other outlets and not disputed by the Biden campaign. I need an answer immediately on how/when she will be unlocked. I also don't appreciate how nobody on this team called me regarding the news that you'll be censoring news articles. Like I said, at least pretend to care for the next 20 days. Also, why is anybody calling you for this? 20. This led to public policy executive Carolyn Strom to send out a polite WTF query. Several employees noted that there was tension between the comm/policy teams who had little/less control over moderation and the trust and safety teams. Hi team, are you able to take a closer look here? Thank you. Strom's note returned the answer that the laptop story had been removed for violation of the company's hacked materials policy, even though as we all know, it was never hacked. Thanks for reaching out to us. Per checking, the user was bounced by site integrity for violating our hacked materials policy, adding them here for further insights and guidance. Thanks. If you just read the article, you knew that it wasn't hacked. See if there's any update before we go back to Ye being crazy. There is nothing else. So, again, all old news. We get it. When are you going to name FBI agents and people involved? I do like, however, the only thing so far that is new information that we've seen is consistent emails from the Biden administration to Twitter on things that need to be checked and censored for the federal government in violation of the First Amendment. And then the Democratic National Committee sending emails to ban or censor certain individuals that they don't like to make sure that conservatives don't have a voice on social media. Hey, I hit the pause button, bitch.
Well, make no mistake, this Thursday, December 1st, 2022 broadcast is beyond the Twilight Zone because truth is stranger than fiction. Yay. Maybe more controversial than Alex Jones or Donald Trump now. I mean, we're about the most controversial people in the world, and obviously the most attacked and demonized. He's here. Nick Fuentes is here as well. America First. We're going to have Ali Alexander on, Owen Schroyer. This thing's going to go for the next 3+ hours as long as Ye wants to go. Some stations don't carry the first 5, but you just dropped some bombs that I totally agree that are huge, Ye. So recap that again.
What bomb? He didn't drop any bombs. He just said, like, fucking all porn is child pornography and pedophilia. Like, we just said wild shit.
Continue on, sir.
Okay, so I looked this up. It's about sin. That's what we're going to talk about, sin, today, and how we need to do everything that we can. We're imperfect, but to free ourselves of sin and repent for sin throughout the day, at night, and in the morning. So right here, the Bible says right here, I know I'm going to do a Corinthians 2, like Trump, new Christian kind of reading of this. So bear with me. I love Jesus, but I'm not the most, experienced Christian. And it says, the book of Proverbs.
Hold on. Did Twitter break? Did Twitter break? Just curious. What's going on here? I'm about to refresh to see if Twitter just broke. You seeing this, Mark?
That's interesting. Sorry, I was dealing with something over on chat.
Let me refresh. There we go. It broke. There.
Okay.
I assume
looking at his
yeah,
stuff here.
You know what I mean? Well, I mean, after all those employees got fired, I love how the cracked crazies revert to deontology when their mind snaps. Just unfortunately the most widely available one. Yeah. Nick still only talks twice in this whole interview. He's more of an accessory. The spotlight is solely on Kanye. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, and it's a perfect move for him. He just gets to sit there and soak in all this fame and clout.
Yeah, pretty much.
6:16-19. I'm sure that's the wrong way to read it.
It's okay. You got the floor.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Identify 7 things that God hates, although there are not any punishments prescribed for those. Scripture clearly indicates that God does view sin differently and that he proscribed he proscribed a different punishment for sin depending upon its severity. Now watch this one. It says, where the phrase all sins are equal in the eyes of God comes from. As far as I can tell, the most common argument for
is the 700 Club about to start?
Right.
The belief that all
Is this the
sins
intro to the new Teletubbies show?
are created equal comes from the book of James 2:10. It states, for whoever keeps the whole law and yet stumbles at just one point is guilty of breaking all of it. Now, I'm a big fan of Steve Jobs, even though he did create Apple. And if you notice, the logo of Apple is actually the fall of man. The
forbidden fruit.
The bitten apple.
Oh my God. Like, next is numerology.
Apple.
We don't know what. Actually, they think the fruit that was eaten in the Garden of Eden was a pomegranate because it was in the Middle East.
I mean, sure.
Right.
Dun, dun,
So we can
nerd.
get into, what social media has done to families and all that. We got 3 hours, right? But I like the way our incredible American inventors like Disney and Hughes and Steve Jobs, the way they ran their companies and invented things that changed the world. And the way Steve ran his company was his version of a sinless office. Everyone had to be so meticulous to be able to take what was 10 things at one time and put it in the palm of our hand. Think about an iPhone. It's your fax.
What the fuck is he talking about? This is like anybody that says that Kanye is like doesn't have bipolar disorder and this isn't a state of mania, like I just go Google bipolar 1 disorder DSM.
It's your email.
It's points.
Your phone.
And now it's 1,000 things.
Yeah, it's your camera. It's your flashlight. Yeah, it's like 1,000 things in it. But he had to have his army.
Wow, names 2 things and gets 1,000. That's some good math there. I wish my money multiplied like that.
Go in with a sinless approach. And right now, God called Gideon to make an army, the 300, the real 300, not the movie version, that were all focused.
Not the movie. No, that's about the Battle of Thermopylae. That really happened, dude. Like,
yeah, and like, I mean, they definitely Hollywooded up, but it's not that far off.
Right? I mean, like, who knows how many, Spartans were at Thermopylae, but like they all did die. Like,
yeah, I mean, the common story is like it was roughly 10,000 combined army, and then they couldn't hold them off forever, and the goat path was found. So the 300 Spartans stayed to hold off the advance so that the rest of the army could get back and like form the rest of the full military might of Greece.
I mean, really, it's just a story of the phalanx being a superior form of a superior matchup to the Persians, really
as well as metal armor.
Yeah, I mean, like, they were using wicker shields to catch arrows, right? Like, I mean, like,
which is a good plan,
right? But I mean, like, the Persians, the people that gave them the most difficulty were like the steppe people, right? And so, like, the matchup against the steppe people were horse archers, right? Like that was what they had to deal with. That was like the most difficult. I fully believe this whole thing is masterminded by Milo, maybe.
On serving this mission at the time. So we have a mission right now to save our families from social media, from Zionist control.
Dude, I don't understand this for Zionist control. I don't understand this like idea of like it's a glowy operate. Like, I mean, it could be a glowy thing with that Milo's getting paid for. Like, I won't discount it, but like more likely it's just crazy clout chasers utilizing a guy that's in a state of mania.
Crazy does his crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to add another layer of conspiracy when you don't need one. The simplest solution is just that he's just fucking bipolar, man.
and bring Jesus Christ back to the forefront. And we're protected. You know, I don't have security. My security is the angels. My security is the fact that I didn't load up pornography last night. And I said, this addiction is gonna have to flee from me. You know, this addiction since I was 5 years old that has destroyed my...
You've been addicted to porn since you were 5?
Right, what?
I know you had a rough upbringing, but it wasn't that rough. I don't even think they had computer porn yet. Like, he was finding magazines.
Like, right, like, what were you doing at 5 years old? Like, what the fuck? What if Hitler was actually bipolar? I mean, it's possible, I guess. All right, let's see what the updates are. Okay, we gotta look for 22.
Is old Vijaya gonna be named?
22. Although several sources recalled hearing about a, quote, general warning from the federal law enforcement that summer about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. In fact, that might have been the problem.
Oh, because it was during the Trump administration. Has anyone seen the Gillian Keeves sketch about Hitler?
New York Post reporting on the contents of Hunter Biden's laptop ahead of the 2020 election. Ignored. Appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast in August, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg revealed that Facebook had limited sharing of the New York Post reporting after a conversation with the FBI. The background here is that the FBI came to us, some folks on our team, and was like, hey, just so you know, you should be on high alert that there was a lot of Russian propaganda in the 2016 election. We have it on notice that basically there's about to be some kind of dump. So it fit that pattern. Zuckerberg said he regretted that decision, as did Jack Dorsey, CEO of Twitter at the time. Despite claims that the laptop's contents were forged, the Washington Post confirmed this. At least some of the emails on the laptop were authentic. The New York Times authenticated emails from the laptop, many of which were cited in the original New York Post reporting from October 2020. The prospectors have examined as part of the Justice Department's probe into whether the president's son violated the law, yada, yada, yada. Documents filed in federal court as part of a lawsuit by the Attorney General of Missouri and Louisiana add a layer of new detail to Zuckerberg's anecdote, revealing that officials leading the push to expand the government's reach into disinformation also played a quiet role in shaping the decisions of social media giants around the New York Post's story. According to records filed in federal court, two previously unnamed FBI agents, Elvis Chan, FBI Special Agent in San Francisco Field Office, and Demlow, the section chief of the FBI's Foreign Influence Task Force, were involved in high-level communications that allegedly, quote, led to Facebook's suppression of the Post's reporting. Hunter Biden laptop story was only the most high-profile example of law enforcement agencies pressuring technology firms. In many cases, Facebook and Twitter accounts flagged by DHS or its partners as dangerous forms of disinformation or potential foreign influence were clearly parody accounts or accounts with virtually no followers or influence, etc. Yeah, I just don't buy the idea that DHS and the FBI didn't have some hand in this. So this is 27, 26. Where's 23, 24, and 25? What the fuck? Hold on. Here we go. The decision was made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, with former head of legal policy and trust Vijaya God playing a key role. Of course she did. Quote, they just freelanced it, end quote, is how one former employee characterized the decision. Quote, Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized that wasn't going to hold, but no one had the guts to reverse it, end quote. You can see the confusion in the following lengthy exchange, which ends up including Gad and former Trust and Safety Chief Yoel Roth. Comms official Trenton Kennedy writes, quote, "I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe." So Hunter Biden's laptop article, privileged and confidential. Our teams continue to investigate the origins of the material included in the reporting. Trenton Kennedy, "I'm struggling to understand the policy basis for marking this as unsafe. And I think the best explainability argument for this externally would be that we're waiting to understand if this story is the result of hacked materials. We'll face hard questions on this if we don't have some kind of solid reasoning for making the link unsafe." Katie Rosborough, "Will we also mark similar stories as unsafe?" Fox News, Hunter Biden emails Senate Homeland Security Committee investigating hard drive laptop. So reporting about the reporting. 26. By this point, quote, "everyone knew this was fucked," end quote, said one former employee. But the response was essentially to err on the side of continuing to err. Yoel Roth, "The policy basis is hacked materials, though, as discussed, this is an emerging situation where the facts remain unclear. Given the severe risks and lessons of 2016, we're erring on the side of including a warning and preventing this content from being amplified." Vijaya God, "What is the warning that will come up?" Yoel Roth, "New. When you click the link, you'll see the generic unsafe URL message. References spam, malware, and violations of the Twitter rules. Not ideal, but it's the only thing we have." Boeotians were related to the... Oh my God, you're really going in. Ian Plunkett, "New. Whatever we do in the comms, this will become a bias claim for Jack pre-hearing immediately. Let's make it clear we're proactively but cautiously interpreting this through the lens of our hacked materials policy and allowing the link with a warning and significant reduction of spread. So let's make it clear that we're not censoring, we're just censoring." Former Vice President of Global Comms Brandon Borman asks, "Can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy?" To Ian's point, can we truthfully claim that this is part of the policy, i.e., as part of our approach to addressing potentially hacked materials? We're limiting visibility of related stories on Twitter while our investigation is ongoing? So it turns out it was stupidity and not malice? The pivots of the left. Oh, it was a happy little accident that everybody involved was intentionally censoring materials that would help the Trump win the presidency. Just a happy little accident, guys. I mean, the FBI was involved in Facebook, but there's no involvement here. Maybe because the FBI didn't have to do anything because of the extreme leftist organization that's 99% left-wing was already doing the FBI's job for them to ensure that President Biden was protected.
You get one to do it and the rest of them just kind of do it on their own.
Yeah. Or as George Carlin likes to say, you don't need a conspiracy when like interests align. I guess they had time to cover their tracks while Elon was negotiating Twitter purchase. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if certain things have been scrubbed.
Yeah, if this was Trump Jr., they would have spread that shit like wildfire. Yeah,
you know it. You know it. Absolutely.
How's this random little tweet getting so much reach?
Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that. Like, my account's shadow banned, right? Like, I'm reply deboosted still, even with Elon in charge, because I'm problematic to the narrative. Or I, said too many naughty words at one point. However the algorithm gets fucking tripped, right? My ability to communicate on Twitter is limited, and it's really difficult for me to get anybody that's larger to notice that we exist, because if I reply to them or quote tweet them, they will never get a notification. and they have to scroll down, hit show more, scroll down, hit show more, scroll down, hit show more, and then scroll down and hit, reveal potentially harmful or dangerous. And then it's me being like, I agree. Right? You know what I mean? It just kind of is what it is. Like, you recognize that, like, if you fight against the narrative, you're going to get censored. 28. To which former Deputy General Counsel Jim Baker again seems to advise staying the non-course because, quote, caution is warranted. So this is former Deputy General Counsel. So the law, so basically counsel says, what? I support the conclusion that we need more facts to assess whether the materials were hacked. Yet you're censoring it because you believe it's hacked. Funny how that works. At this stage, however, it is reasonable for us to assume that they may have been, and that caution is warranted. There are some facts that indicate that the materials may have been hacked, while there are others indicating that the computer was either abandoned and or the owner consented to allow the repair shop to access it for at least some purposes. We simply need more information. 29. Fundamental problem with tech companies and content moderation. Many people in charge of speech know/care little about speech and have to be told the basics by outsiders. In one humorous exchange on day one, Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna reaches out to God to gently suggest she hop on the phone to talk about the backlash reply speech. Khanna was the only Democrat official I could find in the files who expressed concern. Generating huge backlash on Hill reply speech. Happy to chat if you're up for it. Best row sent for my iPhone. I mean, it seems kind of apropos. Oops. Gad quickly replies quickly, immediately diving into the weeds of Twitter policy, unaware Khanna is more worried about the Bill of Rights. Thank you for reaching out, and we appreciate the heads up. We put out a clarifying thread of tweets earlier this evening to explain our policy around the posting of private information and linking directly to hacked materials. The press secretary's account was not permanently suspended. We requested that she delete the tweet containing material that is in violation of our rules, and her account is restricted until she complies. I'd be happy to jump on the phone if helpful. My team in DC are copied here and also available to discuss. That is kind of funny. It's like, there's no problem here. Pay no attention to the man behind the mirror.
There is no war embossing, say.
Khanna tries to reroute the conversation to the First Amendment, mention of which is generally hard to find in the files. That just seems petty. What does it say? No Khanna, what does it say? To Khanna? Ro Khanna, sorry. Ro Khanna to Vijaya God, yada, yada, yada. Hope you're well, Vijaya, but this seems a violation of the First Amendment principles. If there is a hack of classified information or other information that could expose a serious war crime, and the New York Times was to publish it, I think the New York Times should have that right. A journalist should not be held accountable for the illegal actions of the source unless they actively aided the hack. So, to restrict the distribution of that material, especially regarding a presidential candidate, seems not in the keeping of the principles of New York Times v. Sullivan. I say this as a total Biden partisan and convinced he didn't do anything wrong. But the story now has become more about censorship than relatively innocuous emails, and it's become a bigger deal than it would have been. It also is now leading to serious efforts to curtail Section 230, many of which would have been a mistake. I believe Twitter itself should curtail what it recommends or puts in trending news, and your policy against QAnon groups is all good. It's hard to balance. But in the heat of a presidential campaign, restricting dissemination of newspaper articles, even if New York Post is far right, New York Post is now the far right. Oh God, that's hilarious. Seems like it will invite more backlash than it will do good. Please keep this communication just between us and Jack, and no need to CC the team or forward to them. Just wanted to offer my 2 cents.
Man, this fucking team game shit is so fucking annoying. Like, I'm on Biden's side 100%. Why? Like, do you not think he could have fucked up? Like, he's just a perfect person? Like, there's nothing in you that says, like, well, maybe.
Yeah, this is crazy. I mean, it's really not that crazy.
No,
But
I'm actually not really surprised by any of this. I mean, I am impressed that this much information is being leaked out now, though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like,
Well, this much hard data is coming out. Like, I am actually kind of pleased with how this is going so far.
yeah, and the fact that like he was allowed access and it was tweeted by the CEO, right, for his investigation. It does say it. You know, it does give me a little bit more hope and confidence in Elon Musk. I don't expect him to be like some giant free speech advocate, but like maybe we can get my shadow ban lifted. You know what I mean? Like, who knows? Within a day, head of public policy Lauren Culbertson receives a ghastly letter / report from Carl Sosbo of the research firm Net Choice, which had already polled 12 members of Congress, 9 Republicans and 3 Democrats, from the House Judiciary Committee to reply Judy Cho's office. Okay, Lauren. Yesterday, Net Choice's Chris Marquise met informally with 9 Republican and 3 Democrat House staffers to gather intel about Facebook and Twitter and the New York Post story. The staffers hail from the House Judiciary Committee to Representative Judy Cho's office. Okay. Redhead libertarian, like, oh shit. I do love the people that are following this and not streaming. Y'all aren't live on Twitch? Yeah, I know.
Correct. That is a factually accurate statement.
All right, so while we wait for that to repopulate, let's go back to Yeezus.
Real quick.
Go ahead.
Have you seen that there's going to be another Indiana Jones movie?
Yes, I have. I haven't
Did you
seen
see
the trailer yet, but I haven't seen the trailer yet, but I imagine it's going to be stupid as fuck. Figure after this story drops, we'll check it out. Like after the story's like done for the day.
He's just so fucking old. Anyways.
I thought he was getting recast.
Nope. Harrison Ford. You said you saw the trailer.
I literally just said I haven't seen the trailer, and I figured we'd watch it after the story drops.
I didn't hear that.
A 4th indie movie? Actually, I think it would be a 5th indie movie. There was a 4th one already.
Yeah, the 4th one was Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
That one was bad.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you mean fall? Oh, you're just pretending it doesn't exist. But yeah, Bandit, we're not live on Twitch. Our Twitch schedule is Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. till a minimum of like 10:30, 10, usually till midnight or around midnight, etc. Trying to grow on YouTube a little bit. We're just waiting for YouTube to get back to us to see if we can be monetized.
My mom and my dad's family that destroyed my family. Like when I take full accountability for the destruction, like of my marriage, I'll point at the liberals and say, you took my wife from me. You know what took my wife from me? The fact that I was married to this beautiful person, but I felt like it wasn't enough. I felt like I still needed to look at pornography. In some way I'd say to her, well, stop making these images, stop breaking the internet. You know, that original term.
Your wife got started in pornography. That's what made your wife famous.
It was Ray J.
Right, yeah. I mean, your wife is a famous porn star turned fashion makeup mogul.
Well, and she was friends with Paris Hilton.
And she's, related to Johnny Cochran. So
no, not Johnny Cochran.
Fuck, not Johnny Cochran. The other guy. Oh fuck, what's that? What's the other lawyer's name? That was on
Robert Kardashian?
Yeah, that's it.
There we go.
It's me, Dusk, from Twitch. What's up, Dusk?
term comes from my ex-wife actually having a nude photo that I didn't know about, that someone used her and put her on a magazine. But there's somewhere where she's like, well, if my husband is looking at this, I still want to be like the girls that are doing this. And this becomes people reliving the traumas, pushing the addiction. The pornography industry is not even a big industry. It's like less than $10 billion.
Well, yeah, I don't think we needed to bring Caitlyn Bruce Jenner into this.
Right? So that means that it's not.
We got that one too. Yeah, that's fair.
Used for prosperity, it's used for disparity.
By the way, George Orwell wrote in 1984, and he'd been the #2 guy in PSYOPs for OSS.
Balenciaga campaign.
Yeah, it just looks ridiculous. I was just like, this sucks.
Yeah, and ran propaganda for the British government, but he found out that he didn't like Hitler, but he found out that they were actually manipulated and created him. He didn't like the communists. He'd been one of them. He found out the British intelligence had actually created that and done that, and he explained in 1984 that pornography is something to destroy families, destroy our souls, and get us to commit. He wasn't even a big Christian, but get us to debase ourselves so that they could control us.
Alex Jones sounds more reasonable and rational because Kanye West is there, and it is a weird phenomenon. Like on any other podcast, when he'd be like, and then he was talking about 1984, and the communists, they use pornography to get us to debase ourselves and our souls so that we'd be easier to control. I mean, I've got all the documents, right? Like if
I've seen it, Joe. I've seen it.
Right, like if that was like on Joe Rogan, you'd be like, "What the fuck is Alex Jones on?" But after Kanye, it's like, "Yeah, no, I can see that. I can see that."
This guy's a breath of fresh air,
right? It's fucking wild.
And who's this quiet, scared white boy in the side of the room there?
Who's this scared little femboy off to the side?
Absolutely. You got alcohol and pornography are these legal drugs. Alcohol is a spirit.
What?
I'm so goddamn tired of people coming after the booze, man.
I mean, it's not good for you. I mean,
yeah, well, neither is pizza, or a lot of things aren't good for you. Like, let me die my way.
I mean, alcohol is one of the most dangerous drugs in existence on the planet, right? I mean, like,
it's fine.
Yeah, but it's worse than a majority of drugs. Like, it's way worse. I mean, well, not just that, but alcohol is one of the few drugs that like gives you energy and makes you more aggressive, right? Like that's the big problem with alcohol is that it reduces inhibition, makes you aggressive and gives you energy. Right now, some people it gives energy, some people it doesn't give energy. It's a depressant, but it's a depressant in terms of inhibitors and it works differently for some people, yada, yada, yada. But for a select group of people, it gives those people energy and makes them aggressive and lowers inhibition. Like that is a dangerous fucking drug.
I'm just saying in the drug war, man. That's all.
I'm with you, right? I'm not, but I'm just saying like, if someone had to be a pothead or a fucking alcoholic, we all know that we would prefer someone be a pothead.
Yeah, I prefer the latter.
Yeah.
We're going to go into the spirit of Al-Kule. Well, let's just go to the facts today. Let's not just even do opinions. And I love how you brought that in because now you got God's warriors coming together. Right now, okay, Nick Fuentes doesn't have a Twitter account. Alex Jones doesn't have a Twitter account. But hey, guess what, Elon? I got a Twitter. And today...
Not anymore.
I'm going to have Nick and Alex tweet from my account. You like that, Ari Emanuel?
I'm all about free speech. And the greatest threat is those that want to silence us. This is why it comes First Amendment. Yeah. Anybody trying to take your speech is the enemy.
Absolutely. Well, and it's
what about taxes?
I do find it a little bit hypocritical that Elon Musk said that he was purchasing Twitter to create a free speech environment. He says that free speech is the thing that's going to save the West and our civilization. But yet he has taken exception to you, Alex, for some seemingly specific reason, maybe personal to him, but definitely not principled.
I do kind of like though that Twitter is being run more like a private company. You know what I mean? Like Elon's like, why aren't you bringing Alex Jones back? He's like, my kid died. I don't like motherfuckers that stand on the graves of children. And it's like,
so you hate politicians, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a bit of a hypocrisy there for sure, but I mean, like, what Alex Jones did was, I mean, like, I think we all know what Alex Jones did. It's kind of fucked up. I don't think anybody's like pro Alex Jones, like Sandy Hook was fake and spreading that shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was not cool.
He should have just stuck with, like, there's a bunch of weird shit that happened around that time. I just want to look into the weird things that were happening around the school while it happened.
Right.
They would have been like, yeah, I don't see why anyone's upset about that.
How does he even see through that thing? It's got zippers for the eyes.
So I think it's time that the people finally demand a real victory here. We've been at war, essentially, since Trump came down.
Also, yeah, that's true. Like, hypocrisy, thy name is Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes' community in America First swat people all the time. Like, if you piss off America First, like, you get swatted. Like, it's fucking like regularly, and within their own internal drama. Like, it's real fucking bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they do wild shit over there, and they're like, oh, well, Kiwi Farms, this and Kiwi Farms that. We got to take down these people. It's like, dude, they're rough over there.
Down the golden escalator 7 years ago to put America first, to put Christ first, to free the internet and do these kinds of things. And here we are all this time later, and it seems like we've stagnated, or in some ways maybe even taken a step back. So it's time that people demand, we want Christ first, we want America first, we want Alex Jones back on Twitter. These are just and reasonable demands.
Well, I see it like this, and I want you to be able to elaborate on this, but I don't want Ye to get his run because he's got so much to say and he always gets cut off. But so I'm going to try to shut up as much, but we can go 4 or 5 hours if you want.
Someone watched Tim Pool and realized that, like, if you interrupt him too many times, he might just walk off.
How many times? It didn't seem like he got interrupted that much, though. He basically got to monologue for like 15 minutes straight, and then they're like, yeah, I disagree with you on this, and like, we can have that discussion, but I'd rather not. And then he was like, no, it's them.
Yeah, but like, it is them,
not,
though.
But okay.
Oh, right.
You want the main show's actually 4 hours long. I was just hoping for 3. We'll do 4 hours if you guys are up for it. But here's what I'm saying. I am a classical liberal at heart, so I love everybody and I judge people by what they do, not what color they are. And then I look at the things you've said, and some of them out of context I don't agree with. But compared to a liberal, a modern liberal saying white people are inherently evil.
Yeah, no, I think the walkout was planned, right? Like, and Tim Pool says that he bought them a fucking, like, a place to sleep, like an Airbnb and shit. And like, they left to like a jet that was already warmed up and shit. Like, I'm pretty sure the plan was to walk off and cause controversy.
Just ginning shit up.
Mm-hmm.
And white people are bad because of their skin color. And then that's what the...
Clip it. Alex Jones said white people are bad because of their skin color. Fucking racist.
He really is a liberal.
ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center and these leftist groups in Hollywood have pushed. So they're putting out something beyond even what Hitler said, but reversing it onto white people. And we're supposed to sit there and accept it. And then Ye comes out and says, hey, I see kind of a mafia running things, and then he's the devil. No, that's bullshit. Sorry.
Yeah, because he won't stop naming the fucking Jews. Like, he won't stop making it seem like the mafia and the elite and like the powers that be that like pull the levers are doing so because they're Jewish, and that like once we have Christ, we'll get rid of in our lives, we'll get rid of all these Jews. Like, it's beyond dog whistles. Like, he just says it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course, it's not because he's fucking 24 viewers and only 7 thumbs up on the stream, right? Like, how that's fucked up. But I mean, it's not like he just came out and said like, hey, there's a group of people that are doing this, right? A cultural elite. And it's not like he like just kind of said like, and it's disproportionately Jewish. And, and I think if we were founded on like Christ, like that we wouldn't have these problems. Like, that'd be a little anti-Semitic maybe, but like a fair argument from a Christian perspective, right? But like, no, he's just like, they've all got handlers and they're Jews. Like Rahm Emanuel, that was a Jewish handler. Like, he's just fucking straight up going on.
And then who's
like,
next to Trump? Jared Kushner.
Right. And it's like, what? The guy that was negotiating fucking peace deals and shit? Like, yeah, Jared Kushner did some bad shit, but he did a lot of good shit. Like, I would say Jared Kushner was probably a net positive. I mean, like, as opposed to so many other people in the administration that were his fucking handlers.
John Bolton.
Fucking John Bolton, the goddamn walrus himself.
All right, we're going to curse a little bit less on this.
Yes, Reverend. I'm going to try. I'll stop.
And the reason I
All right, before we get back to Kanye being crazy, let's check up on the story. Let's see where we're at. All right, so 33 was the last one? Yeah, 33 was the last one. Let's see what we got. I have screenshots of Cozy chat during that stream, full of vile Jew hate with no exceptions. The irony falls apart when you see Groypers are typing in chat. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big fan of that, right? Like, I let wild people say wild shit in my Twitch chat, and then when they only when they break TOS is when I ban them, because I let you guys push back, because you know what I mean. Like, and I'll say to them and I'll call them out on their bullshit, and then when they keep going, like, I let you guys do that over on Twitch, especially, right? So like, that's his movement, and I understand that there is a difference, but I just don't like the argument from like, this is what people said in chat, because like, if I held myself to that same standard, like, people could call me all kinds of things that are just like not true. So next, NetChoice lets Twitter know a bloodbath awaits in upcoming Hill hearings, with members saying it's a, quote, tipping point, complaining tech has grown so big that they can't even regulate themselves, so government may need to intervene. Right? This is the weird psyop shit, man. Is like, I don't believe that this is the full story. I believe the full story is that the government's involved in pushing this shit and then utilizes these exact things as a means to require the very regulation of speech that they want. You guys remember the fucking Facebook the Instagram whistleblower? The female who had the same lawyer as Hillary Clinton, who was also a former CIA operative and bragged about it, and just immediately got on 60 Minutes and immediately got to talk to Congress. And her whole thing was, this is why we need Section 230 reform. This is why the government needs to step in and regulate. And then that just kind of went away because it didn't blow up enough. Like, nah, man, there's another layer here to this fucking story. I don't believe this is the full story.
Story's like a parfait. It's got layers.
Just pay your money and voila, you're a reverend. Yeah, I'm an ordained minister. It's like $35. It's not even expensive. Actually, I think I might have let it run out at this point. But whatever. I did it for the lulz.
Being a voice of the law does not run out.
Both Democrats and Republicans were angry. Okay. 35. Sasbo reports to Twitter that some Hill figures are characterizing the laptop story as, quote, tech's access Hollywood moment. When asked just how bad this situation is, one staffer said, quote, it's tech's access Hollywood moment, and it has no Hillary to hide behind, end quote. Others were more blunt. Quote, tech is screwed and rightfully so. Twitter files continued. The First Amendment is, quote, the First Amendment isn't absolute. Sasbo's letter contains chilling passages relaying Democratic lawmakers' attitudes. They want, quote, more moderation. And as for the Bill of Rights, it's not absolute.
Well, I think history has proved that to be factual.
Yeah, right? The Democrats, meanwhile, complain that the companies are inept. They let conservatives muddy the water and make the Biden campaign look corrupt, even though Biden is innocent. They linked this to Hillary Clinton's email scam. She did nothing wrong, but because the press wouldn't let the story go, it became a scandal far out of proportion.
The FBI said she did something wrong. She just didn't mean to.
Right? Well, it wasn't even that she just didn't mean to. They were, at this time, we don't recommend prosecution, which isn't something the FBI is supposed to do. In their mind, social media is doing the same thing. It doesn't moderate enough harmful content, so when it does, like it did yesterday, it becomes a story. If the companies moderated more, conservatives wouldn't even think to use social media for disinformation, misinformation, or otherwise. The Democrats were in agreement. Social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy and making all truth relative. Holy shit. When pushed on how the government might insist on that, consistent with the First Amendment, they demurred. The First Amendment is an absolute. Wow.
I mean, it's not. It's not.
I mean, I know, but having these files is as a smoking gun as opposed to like looking at just their actions and inferring their motivation and beliefs as opposed to seeing them just kind of openly talk about, well, not openly, but behind the scenes talk about, yeah, the First Amendment, we don't need that. What we need is to censor conservatives so fucking hard they won't even want to be on the platform. And then we can control all speech and the narrative. An amazing subplot of the Twitter/Hunter Biden laptop affair is how much was done without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey, and how long it took for the situation to get, quote, unfucked, end quote, as one ex-employee put it, even after Dorsey jumped in.
Jack, why'd you leave Twitter behind and go off on a psychedelic journey for a couple years? You would not believe how awful it is dealing with the people I hired. I have a hard time feeling bad for Jack.
I had to put out something. I had to tweet out, this is what happens when you tweet out you're reading Anatomy of the State. Remember when Jack Dorsey did that shit and everyone was like, all hands on deck?
Mises.org is the craziest part to me. He didn't just like post an Amazon link to like a hard copy or something. He's like, yeah, here's the Mises.org link. Go read it.
Yeah. I'm just saying. All right, back to Alex Jones. Well, Kanye West's show. All right, let me check to make sure I'm not getting any DMs or anything.
Kanye the billionaire.
Well, maybe not anymore. I think he might have gone under $1 billion in net worth.
Well, no one ever called him a billionaire anyways, so.
Nick, people have heard from Nick, but people haven't heard from Nick with Ye standing right next to him. You know, it's like, that's the thing.
What a fucking narcissistic thing to say. People have heard from Nick, but they ain't heard from him with me standing next to him. Like, God, this guy is so mentally fucked.
But I mean, he's also kind of right. Like, him standing next to you, like, lends this weird air of je ne sais quoi that a lot of normies just, like, soak up.
I'm not going to lie. The more I listen to Kanye go off, the more sympathetic I am to the British operative personal trainer Jew that was like, dude, I'm going to have you committed. Like, you don't fucking have a real conversation with me and you don't fucking, like, cut this bullshit, I'm gonna have you fucking committed. And I know everyone's like, yo, what the fuck? That's a fucking psyop handler fucking dude. But like, the more he goes off, the more I'm like, this motherfucker might just need some goddamn lithium and a fucking and some coloring books. Jesus fuck, dude.
Kanye, when's the last time you got a hug?
You know, Andrew, that is true. AJ was talking about free speech, then Kanye immediately asked AJ to not curse on his show. I mean, you know, fair. Yeah.
Thing that the Zionists control, the 300 in control of the media and control of the governments, they don't want us to connect to each other. Like my dad said, okay, they say you're anti-Semitic, but they say he's a white supremacist. And he's asking me, well, what's the difference? I said, Dad, there is no difference. It's just separation and confusion. They want to separate and confuse the Christians and make us afraid to stand next to each other. A Christian can stand next to anyone. We can go visit R. Kelly in prison. We can.
Why? Like, this makes no sense.
Why would you want to? Do you want him to sing I Believe I Can Fly again?
No, but listen, like, if this is the bullshit, is he's trying to hide behind the idea of the Zionists, right? Because there's a difference between attacking Jewish people and being anti-Semitic and being anti-Zionist, right? You're in dangerous territory, but there is a difference. But why the fuck would Zionists want to silence Christians and divide and conquer Christians so that like leftism and communism can spread? That doesn't help the goal of a united Israel at all. If you're a Zionist, the last thing you want is a bunch of fucking Casimir. Like, I don't know. Can sorority? Can we delete that? I don't know that you're actually allowed to put that acronym in chat. Like, I understand. Like, yeah, I appreciate it. I understand the context, but like that might actually be like a thing we can't have in chat. But yeah, no, like if you're talking about just Zionism, right? Zionism would want a strong Christian faith to fight against fucking commies and like New World Order globalists and shit, right? So what he's doing is he's using these terms that he's hiding behind to like grant some level of legitimacy. Except I don't know that he's even smart enough to do that. I think he's just being more careful about the words that he uses. But Casimir, yes, you're right. That's what he's really referring to. Is he's referring to like the fucking entire conspiracy anti-Semitic theory. I mean, it's just so wild, man. He's just fucking manic. I wish this guy would get some help.
And some better friends.
And I don't know, a makeup artist instead of a mask.
You know what, Kanye? I'm officially reaching out. I'll be your friend. I will help right this ship.
You know, unironically, Mark's a really good friend.
I'd be a lot fucking better than Nick Fuentes.
Right?
You can go talk to Harvey Weinstein.
That's what Jesus did.
Yes, because Jesus can save everyone. But if the Zionists can get us so afraid that they're going to do what they've been doing to me, attempting to put me in jail, freeze my accounts, smearing me on the media, all of these things, you put on the whole armor of God and they will not be able to break your spirit.
And by the way, we can do 3 hours on this subject, and you do 5 hours on it, and let's just get it all going now.
He just keeps increasing that fucking. We can do 3 hours. Like I'll go 4 hours if you want to go. I want to go. By the way,
I'll go all day. I'm a virile male.
Yeah. I've got super male vitality. you can get it on Infowars.com /shop for only 3 easy payments of $29.95.
And since I'm not allowed to drive myself anymore, it's real easy for me to get home.
I'm surprised he never dropped the Protocols book. Oh, God, Bandit.
Because I want to get into everything about your plans to try to bring jobs to America, unifying people, running for president, all those other issues. So I'm not steering us away from that. I'm just saying let's just run with it as far as you guys want to go, and then I want to get into all the other topics that surround things.
Oh, beautiful. So where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, I would just start.
You wish what?
I wish David Icke was on this too, so he could sit there further muddy the waters, be like, well, no, when we're talking about the Zionists, we're actually talking about the reptilian overlords.
Yeah.
And there is a huge cabal of these reptilians that have infected the world.
Oh, God, yes. Well, apparently he puts on a reptile mask at some point. Alex Jones does. So you might not need David Icke for that.
Did some dubstep start playing? When he puts the mask on?
Alex Jones is burned with this stream. What do you mean by burned? Like, do you mean like tired and burned out, or do you mean like burned bridges? Which I feel like Alex Jones kind of already did all that himself. Like, what do you mean?
With this, there are good people from every group and every type of culture, and we all know that. But definitely the left, when it was America defeated Hitler, calls their opposition Hitler. When both my grandfathers almost died in the Army Air Corps, both of them almost died. One of them crash landed after a mission and got all broke up. The other one got hit in a German air raid in North Africa, and he'd only done like 18 of his missions, and then he had a concussion, and he was the captain, and then his buddies went up the next day and blew up over Italy. And he was always freaked out by it. Never really talked about it until he died, but when he died, we read the letters and all the awards he had and stuff, and the things he did after that, and then, re-upping and recommitting to the Army Air Corps.
I love when people wait, what? Like this is like a level of extraction of like, well, I had family that was in the Holocaust, so I can't be anti-Semitic. He's like, I had family that fought in World War II. Wait, what? Yeah, you mean like
they fell off the guard towers?
Like every man did back then? Like, what are you talking about?
So I take it as an offense to have George Soros and people that actually work for Hitler rounding up people, tell me I'm a Nazi when I almost don't exist when my grandfathers went over there. I got a lot to say about this as well. It's just nuanced with the whole thing that's going on. But expanding on that, give us, because I want you to go wherever you want. So let's just have you talk for 10, 15 minutes more before me and we got a lot to hear from Fuentes and he needs to be heard, but we want to hear from Ye. Go ahead.
Well, I said with Ali Alexander and Nick Fuentes that we're like the SWAT team of free thought.
Stop saying it that way.
What's wrong with Ali Alexander?
No, Fuentes. Nick Fuentes.
I mean, he just says shit. So weird. I mean, he just says shit the way he wants to say it. All right.
It's irksome.
You're not gonna fucking censor his speech, his voice. All right. He speaks with the voice of God. Angels are his guardians, Mark.
He's wearing the armor of God. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
All the shade I'm throwing just drips right off.
Mm-hmm.
Drip, drip, drip.
It don't even touch his skin. Look.
And I go in with this battle ram at the door, and then they come in with these laser beams and have that information. And we work together as a team. A lot of times in media, they want to single out one person and burn them to the core. That is a Zionist approach. And they're asking me.
Jesus Christ, man.
So I'm actually just laughing at the banner just scrolls across. Yay.
I think it's because the irony of a white supremacist named Fuentes. Well, he's Mexican.
He's clearly a white Spaniard.
Me to use that same approach. Well, hey, don't say all people, just say specifically the businessmen. And then I go on Lex Fridman and I say who it specifically, and that's still not enough. They're still taking it too far. Everyone knows and
no, dog, you're taking it too far.
Agrees now.
Just saying them, those people.
That it's like a reverse version of American History X, the scene when they put the guy's head against the curve and kick the back of it. And now people are like, wait a second, the so-called crime doesn't deserve the punishment. What did I thought?
Well, that's right. You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Oh, well, here it comes.
Yeah, I've seen this clip. This is so fucking beautiful.
See, I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love, us, and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician. You can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Why especially Hitler? Why, like you almost made a good argument.
Why not just even Hitler?
Right, like why not even Hitler? Like even Hitler could have been you could have saved it with just one word change, right? And been like even Hitler is a child of God, and they have something, I mean that's a tough sell, right? Trying to sell people on like the good shit, but he said especially Hitler. Like fucking why?
Now let's check in on the story.
Oh God. All right, let's see. Oh no. Hold on. While reviewing Gad's emails, I saw a familiar name, my own. Dorsey sent her a copy of my Substack article blasting the incident. I mean, I feel like this is just bragging.
Yeah, but you know what? Go for it, man. He was directly impacted by this story. It's fine.
There are multiple instances in the files of Dorsey intervening to question suspensions and other moderation actions for accounts across the political spectrum. Good guy Dorsey. Who cares? Is that it? Why does it take you so fucking long to get this story out? Cool. Good guy Dorsey steps in sometimes to stop some of the censorship when he sees it. Yay.
About that one. Ari Emanuel, how you like that one? Hey, Ron, you going to do anything to fix Chicago?
Well, I am worried about the thousands of black folks down in the month of Chicago, but let me expand on that because that's a nuanced issue. Yeah. You know, my grandfather.
What's that?
So I'm sure he thinks about it constantly.
Right.
Grew up in Dallas and from a pretty wealthy family.
Also, Hitler was born Christian.
Oh, I've actually.
We're trying to add other positive, like, hey, Snapple fact. Snapple fact. Let me tell you all. Yeah. So let's talk about Chicago. I am uncomfortable with your praise of Hitler.
Did you know that?
Hey, you said you were going to let me talk for 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden you stopped once I started praising Hitler. But Snapple fact, did you know that the guy had great paintings? Landscapes were good. Buildings, not so much, but, great painter, that guy.
He really loved dogs.
I've studied some of the history on it, but it's very interesting. My grandfather, grew up, and actually some of his family spoke some German. There's a lot of Germans in Texas. But did you know that he grew up next door to the inventor of air conditioning and the inventor of one of the main inventors of refrigeration? And so my issue was, growing up, my grandfather told me the stories about some of the inside baseball and the things that went on. But later, I'm going to get into that. I'm going to tell you some stuff about Hitler that you might not know directly that happened to my people I knew.
I'd love to hear everything because guess what? We don't get to hear. It's hidden. Even like our truth, the fact that African Americans were in America before the Pilgrims, that truth is hidden. That we are actually the Native Americans, or some of us are Native, or the fact that what Kyrie got in trouble is pointing out that we're Jewish slave boats.
Put a picture of my compo.
Oh my God! These were Jewish slave boats. Oh my God!
And then
look at Australia. Yeah. They've done some of the genetic typing of the Aborigines there, and they're basically Africans.
There you go. So all of these truths.
Don't they have like some weird genetic marker or some kind of disparity in their chromosomal structure that like makes them different from just everybody?
I don't fucking know, man.
I swear you were telling me about this. Like Aborigines are built different.
Yeah, but it's a lot of it's pseudoscience as far as I've seen.
Oh,
and then
you didn't tell me that when you told me the first part.
I mean, I might have.
You didn't follow up with but I mean, that's probably just bullshit.
Dude, if I would have told you about it, I would have told you about it from the perspective of reading a book my mom made me read from some crazy white lady that lived with him for a year. And it was pretty wild.
Current truths about banking, about the government. Weird. My favorite thing that I got to say with Tim Pool was, Rahm Emanuel was right there next to Obama. Jared Kushner was right there next to Trump. What
the fuck does he have against Jared Kushner? I don't understand the hate towards Jared Kushner from the conservatives, other than the fact that he's Jewish. It seemed like he was one of the few people actually fighting for Trump and his agenda. But they're gotta find a Jew to blame. It's I don't understand, other than just them hating Jews. I don't understand.
It seems to be the one following thread through all this is just hating Jews.
Jared Kushner is Trump's son-in-law that was he did he worked with the Trump administration kind of not in an official capacity but also in an official capacity on a bunch of different shit. The main thing that Jared Kushner achieved was he was leading those peace negotiations in the Middle East, where he got and in Eastern Europe, where he was able to get, I think it was 4 or 5 trade deals negotiated to get licensing between former countries that were at war, got several people to allow people with Israeli passports to come to their country, etc. More than any other president in American history have there been opening up of trade relations and peace in the Middle East. And that was under Jared Kushner.
Those two people, those two Zionists, I gave it away, have in common. Nick, can you pick that up and expound on that?
What do they have in common? Well, it's very obvious what you think they have in common. They're Jews. Like, that's the only problem. Yeah, I'm a libertarian. I'm the libertarian. Like, let's go.
Absolutely, yeah. And it's interesting because you've been going on these interviews with Lex Friedman and with Tim Pool and Piers Morgan, and they always say, well, don't talk about a group, talk about the individuals. And I would point out, one, it's hypocritical because
Yeah, because you're talking to fucking legacy media leftists, right? Like, the right answer is talk about the group, but don't say they and then constantly say that it's the Jews. Like, when they say talk about the group, they're talking about a demographic group, right? Like, you can talk about the fact that there are individuals in the upper echelons of state and like NGO and corporate power that fix the game and fuck over people to benefit like a wealthy elite. And to benefit like a certain class of individuals, that destroy the poor and the middle class with, regulatory capture and with like, a lot of conspiratorial shit and a lot of weird shit that occurs. And there is certainly evidence that some of these people are almost like pro depopulation and push narratives that, and ideas and concepts that weaken and water down our culture and weaken our people. But you don't have to like say, then add on to that, it's the Jews, just because there happens to be a disproportionate amount of Jews in that group. Why? Because they're fucking smarter. Get over it. Like, Ashkenazi Jews are higher fucking IQ, better fucking culture, and better fucking education. Sorry. Like, that allows them to engage there. And is there nepotism in these groups, which disproportionately affects Jews in those areas? Sure. But it's more about like what school you went to and where did you grow up and how much wealth does your family have and do you wear the right clothing? Do you know the right people? It's not about like whether or not you're Jewish. They don't give a fuck. And most of those Jews aren't religious Jews anyways. Like, they don't like, they're fucking atheists. It's fucking stupid.
Oh yeah. Isn't Milo Jewish?
I think so, probably. If he isn't, I'll just say he is, just because it's funnier that way.
in the same interview, Tim Pool said, well, wouldn't Ye be so great for the black vote? So you can say the black vote, but you talk about Jewish businessmen, and somehow that's a problem. You can't talk about groups when it's one but not the other. The other thing is that there is something baked into the cake in Judaism which affects how they're brokering these kinds of contracts with entertainers like Ye. If you look at the Talmud, which is a real Jewish holy book or part of the holy book, there's the written Torah,
so
which is the Hebrew
white.
Yeah, he's the whitest Mexican ever.
Bible. There's the oral Torah, which was written down as the Mishnah and then interpreted in the Talmud. In the Talmud, it says that Jews have to treat Gentiles differently than they treat other Jews. There's all kinds of examples of this. They say
a lot of religions have that stipulation in them.
So does Islam, right? People of the book. Right? Like, but are you ranting and raving about the Islamic Wahhabist Salafist conspiracy in fucking Saudi Arabia? Like, no.
Yeah, because it's happening over there.
Right. Yeah. And again, Casimir, different doesn't mean you're supposed to like harm them. Right? It's Judaism is the first world religion that says that everybody is a child of God. Right? That's the whole point of Jonah, right?
What about Zoroastrianism?
Not really. They still have like their people, but the whole point of the book of Jonah is not Jonah and the whale, right? It's not about praying to fucking God so that you can be rescued from the belly of the beast in the deep sea creature. The whole point of Jonah and the whale is that God gives a commandment to Jonah to go proselytize to their enemy. And he says, fuck that. I don't want to proselytize to my enemy. I don't want to do that, right? And then he's like, I'm going to hop on a fucking boat and I'm going to escape God. And he gets on the boat and then they're racked by fucking storms. And then Jonah's like, yeah, this is fucking my fault. And so the people on the boat are like, well, then get off the fucking boat, asshole, right? Because you can't outrun God because the whole world is under God's domain. And then he's swallowed up.
Since he's a storm god.
Well, yeah, we could get into the storm god El that eventually becomes Elohim, but like that's historical shit that might piss off the Christians and the Jews. But We won't get into that shit. But he's only rescued when he commits to doing what God told him. And then he goes to his enemies and he proselytizes. And he's like, God, they're going to kill me. And then he's like, just go fucking do it. Do what you're fucking told. All of this is my domain. All of you are my children. And he goes to the king and he says, hey, fucking, you got to repent for your sins. And all of the people put on sackcloth and ashes and pray for God's forgiveness. And Jonah goes to a hill to watch the aftermath. And Jonah is incensed because he's like, these people have been fighting us. They've been attacking us. They've been kidnapping us. Like, what the fuck is your problem that you won't smite these people? And so what does God do? He grows a tree for him, right? And lets him sit in the shade. And then so that he can sit and watch. And then he destroys the very tree. And then Jonah's like, again, he's like, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? He's like, and then God lets him know, hey, I grew that tree. I gave you that shade and I can take it away. So what is the point of that story is twofold. One, do what God tells you, and God can do whatever the fuck he wants because God is a powerful God, right? It's a bit of an, Old Testament God's a little bit more fucking based in terms of being like, fuck you, do what I told you to do. And the other point of that story is that these people are also children of God. And if they follow the path and they follow God's commandments, he will save them. He will protect them. He will allow them to live in prosperity, regardless of the fact that these are not Jewish people. These are not Jews. But because they asked for God's forgiveness, because they supplicated before God and submitted to him, because they covered themselves in sackcloth and ashes, that they presented themselves that way, God is willing to forgive them of their sins and is willing to protect them and give them prosperity as children of God. That the God of the Bible is not a Jewish God. He's a God to all children, all of mankind. You're ignorant of rabbinical Judaism? I mean, I never said I was a fucking scholar of rabbinical Judaism. I didn't know rabbinical was a word. Yeah, rabbinical Judaism comes along around is kind of like what you'll see of most Jews are going to be rabbinical Jews, and it's kind of like a consolidation after
I'm not
the Roman
ignorant.
Empire.
I watched Ari Shafir's special Jew. He talked a lot about it, so I think I'm more than well enough equipped now.
Maybe. All right, let's go check in on the story. But I just like this idea that I don't know. It's infuriating. This idea that the Jewish faith is designed to fucking punish the Gentile. Just no. Wait, is this the last one? Every time Hillary Clinton has killed you. Oh, fuck. Good guy Dorsey over here.
That's
all right, so I guess we'll come back to the story later. Well, he didn't say it was an end to the thread or anything, so we'll see.
Yeah, it was weak. That was a weak message.
Oh, 100%, Andrew. Eventually fucking Kanye will snap out of it, which means he'll no longer be in a state of fucking mania. And, we'll be all right.
Say that if a Jew indirectly kills a Gentile, there's nothing even wrong with that. There's nothing morally wrong with that. They say that for a Jew to have sex with a Gentile is comparable to bestiality. They say that the semen of a Gentile is like that of horses. They also say that you can't give a gift to a Gentile. A Jew is not permitted under the Talmud to give a gift to a Gentile. They're not permitted to charge each other interest, but they're encouraged to charge Gentiles interest.
What do they say about pedophilia?
They say that that's in some cases licit.
Well, I mean,
so you're telling me in their whole...
Yeah, this is... I'm not going
Oh my
through...
God, is he having an iced tea on Law and Order SVU moment here? Now, are you telling me that some people like to have glitter sprinkled on their toes?
Right. It's like this is like really uncharitable interpretations of the faith from something that's thousands of years old. It's like that of a horse semen. Yeah, you're supposed to fucking breed with Jews. That's what they're saying. Like you're supposed to like continue the faith. You're not supposed to like marry into other religions and people that are not Jews. Like why would they not do that? Until it started on Twitch, fair enough.
Holy book, it says it's okay to be pedophiles as long as it's not another Jewish person.
That's only it came from Adam. I'm not 100% sure on
well, let me just get this. Let me just get this out front.
Immediately
I believe in
back.
free speech, and that's why I want you to be here and be able to say whatever you want. I'm quite the historian from a lot of multifaceted views. So at a certain point, I'm going to give my nuanced views of this because there are power structures and there are mafias and there are cliques and there are groups. And there is certainly leftist Jews that call everybody Nazis they don't agree with. If you don't want open borders, or you don't want your guns taken, or you don't want to take a shot. The ADL had a meeting 2 weeks ago and said, Alex Jones is an agent of evil. He should be taken off the air. He's the devil because he doesn't want you to take 4 shots. And I'm like, what are you doing calling me anti-Semitic? I'm not against groups. I don't get into group politics.
You sent me a video of an interview with a rabbi countering many of these. Yeah, that's fine. I'm no scholar of fucking Judaism. Like, I have very limited knowledge of Christianity that I got, like, you know, that everyone gets if they grew up in a church, and that I got like taking a few religious history courses in college and going to Liberty, like, made me read the Bible a lot. But like, I'm no scholar of like, I would never deign to like debate like posh redneck on something about religion or something without like a month head start to fucking research the topic. I wouldn't care to. I'd be like, all right, and
politics.
Adam, sorry. I didn't mean to say that. Alex.
Yes, sir.
I've got the perfect answer for the ADL. They are going to have to listen up. What we did is we brought Netanyahu with us.
Okay. Oh my God. This part is amazing. But also for the ADL. Yeah. The ADL is a Jewish organization, but almost all of those people are atheists. Like, so what are the references to like beliefs under Judaism to a bunch of fucking atheists? Adam Green, he exposes rabbinical Judaism from an atheist perspective. Oh God.
I mean, I'm in the twilight zone right now.
Oh God, this is so cringe.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say? What do you have to say to Alex Jones right now, Nick Fuentes and Ye? It was bad. It was bad for Trump to meet with Nick and Ye. Okay. I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
So you don't like Benjamin?
And the pause and every piece of that is so fucking disturbing.
Rough. I want that Yoo-hoo though. I'm not gonna lie.
Netanyahu.
I just heard about this guy 2 weeks ago. So it's like the tweet.
How'd you only hear about Benjamin Netanyahu 2 weeks ago, but you've got the Zionists' plans all figured out?
Nick runs through that shit real quick.
I thought he had a funny name. I heard he's like really into like, he's like a super killer. I could die for saying this. So in case this the last time you ever hear from me.
Well, look. I'm glad you guys are here, and we can sit here and upset. All I'm telling you is, do you guys realize that the British government created Hitler and the Milner Group?
Oh, now it's gonna get fun.
Oh God. Oh fuck.
Put him in power, and there's something much more sophisticated. And I personally think that most Jews are great people, and I understand there's a Jewish mafia, and they're used to demonize anybody that promotes freedom, but I don't blame Jews in general for that. And there is a much larger eugenics, transhumanist, scientific elite agenda that's playing off.
What about abortion? It's 50% of black deaths. There's over 50.
Hey, one of the papers I had, you're like, why is all? You're the director today.
Yeah, no, Freedom Letter. It's Net and Yahoo. Oh, it's so off the rails. And now we're talking about the fact that that what did he say? Jewish groups create you're tying that to the British government creating Hitler. If that's true, okay, and it was done by Jewish groups, how'd that work out for him? How just follow your thoughts through to conclusion. Did that work? Were they real good at doing it in their own rational self-interest there?
Fine. The Margaret Sanger Rockefeller-founded Planned Parenthood came out today and said, because of your white guilt, white people need to give money so we can kill black babies. I swear to God, it's in my stack. If I hadn't moved it off the desk, I could pull it right up for you.
Why did I have you move it off the desk, Alex?
Because it's cluttered. I'm not bitching. I'm just saying, everybody asks, where's my papers? I don't have them there as a prop. I can literally go, look, I agree with you. Look at this. They say white people help us kill black people for your white guilt. It actually says that. Now, I'm agreeing with you.
Is it a problem with props? We can't. This is the voice of Netanyahu.
Well, see, you get your mop. I'm going to find the tweet here. See.
This is actually like really rough, man.
Yeah, it's cringe as fuck.
No, I don't mean like from a cringe perspective. Like this is like going in beyond the territory of like me starting to feel kind of guilty. Like that we're just like making an entertainment like fucking
like when you talk to that crackhead,
yeah. Like this is starting to get to a point where it's just like, man, this is fucked up, man. Like this guy really needs help.
Yeah, but unfortunately, he's a very wealthy person, so he doesn't get help from the outside world. They just want to put him in front of everyone on their audience, on their platform, so they can, explode and leech off it.
I think I'm going to switch to something else. I'm going to see if I can find Dave Chappelle on Inside the Actors Studio.
Man, you got a lot of Pokemon on your front page.
I think I want to see if I can find where it's at. It's probably the most YouTube has it. See if I can find it.
People think they are, and they don't know what happened. I have.
Let me try and find the context for it. I think it's somewhere around here.
Happening. So hold up. No. And I gotta throw out them big words. I gotta let them know that my parents are probably smarter than your parents.
Yeah. And much better educated.
They're much better educated than your parents. So, I speak in street vernacular because when I'm talking to an audience of people, I feel comfortable. It's the most consistent, I gotta like that deal.
Can you see a time in your life ever when you won't be doing stand-up?
This past year, I did the least stand-up I've done since I started.
I'm trying to find it. I want to see if I can find like the exact clip, because I think it really elucidates kind of like, oh man,
not spoken about. What would make a person walk?
There, yeah, it is. All right, so this is Dave Chappelle. When was this filmed? This was filmed. Oh fuck, I don't know. This is like right when he got back from Africa. And I think if you watch this, you'll understand why Dave Chappelle went to Africa, but also you'll understand why Dave Chappelle, and this is one of the things that Dave Chappelle was referencing in his Kanye West SNL, like kind of like pseudo defense, where he says, these people aren't crazy. He says it's not a crazy thing to think. I could see how if you were mentally unwell, you could make these connections, right? And you could come away with like the delusion. He calls it delusional. And he says that you have to be mentally unwell to make these connections, right? But he says it's not a crazy thing. And I think this is what he's referencing when he's doing the SNL bit. Cause like, honestly, I'm kind of grossed out watching like Ye go this far gone. And I think this is a better piece of content before the debate panel.
Scared me. Being treated that way. Like I'm not a person anymore. You say this shit about me in front of my children and with the fame thing and being
doing stand-up.
This past year, I did the least stand-up I've done since I started. 'Cause I was freaked out, man, with the fame thing and being called crazy and drug addict and all these things. Scared me. You know, being treated that way. Like I'm not a person anymore. You say this shit about me in front of my children and who the f*** do these people think they are? And they don't know what happened. You know, I have not spoken about what would make a person walk off the set of a successful show and go to Africa. But again, people don't understand it, so they call me crazy, and I don't like that.
What should they understand, Dave?
What should they understand? Well, I did 2 seasons, and it was very easy. Not very easy, but I didn't go to Africa. And then suddenly when I'm getting paid what they said was $50 million, I can't do it anymore. Nobody knows. Nobody remembers that I walked away from the show twice last season. Nobody asked about that. You know, in one of these magazines, Newsweek, it's a very credible magazine. And they're saying, maybe I smoke crack, and it was all innuendo. And
I do remember that. They were all saying that he became like a crackhead, and that's why he went to Africa.
I don't remember any of the specifics. I just remember everyone just all of a sudden turning on him really hard and it not making any sense to me.
Yeah, he walked away from $50 million. It was like, no, fuck you. I'm going to Africa.
Yeah, I wasn't very in touch at that time period. I was dealing with some other things. So
fair enough. Yeah, fair enough.
As credible as Newsweek, I was very surprised that this was happening. And then I got to make some real choices, man. Is that what I want for myself? Did I get too big? Because I like people. I like entertaining. And the higher up I go, for some reason, the less happy I am. You know, is it going to get to the point where I'm doing a striptease on TRL or waving a gun on the street, saying they're trying to kill me? No, I'm not going to let it get to that point. I'm going to go to Africa. I'm going to find a way to be myself, man. I gotta, you know, I'm an artist, man. I don't need a sneaker deal. I mean, I'd like one, but.
Yeah, he talks about, again, this is why, and this is another reason why I think he was connecting back to that in the SNL bit, as he was talking about, like, this is why I said, like, I never took a sneaker deal, right? Like, there's multiple allusions to this interview in his SNL bit, but he doesn't like directly say these things.
But that's not the need that makes you guys go to school. You're not in this school right now because you want a sneaker deal. It'd be nice, but that's not why you're here, right? You're not here because you know you'd like to be in the movies, but to act or to entertain it's a need that maybe a lot of your friends don't even understand. But you got that need and you have your dreams. And there's only 6 studios, man. There's only 6 agencies, man. This is a small, controlled thing, and I don't like having to beg for the spotlight, man. The machine is good for us, and we good for the machine, and it should be fair, man. It should be fair.
What did you find in Africa that was an antidote to that?
In Africa,
where is it?
Well,
I know it's in here somewhere where he talks about. Did they cut it? Was that the portion where it was like cut to commercial randomly?
A lot of things. First of all, I'm a Muslim. I don't necessarily practice the way a good Muslim is supposed to practice, but I believe in these tenets. And in Africa, there's a small community of people that don't know anything about the work I do, and they just treat me like I'm a regular dude. So I knew that in Africa I'd have a place to sleep and that I wouldn't have to feel strange. And, you know, when they would call me crackhead and all these things in the country where I'm from, in Africa, they didn't know anything. They was feeding me and taking care of me and taking me to the mall and just regular stuff. And it just made me feel good. It just reminded me that I was a person, you know. I didn't even know they were saying those things about me. Then I call home and people be like, oh my God, are you all right? Yeah, chill, I'm in Africa, baby, what's going on? And then I got a call from a journalist that had been working on a story, and he was like, yeah, rumor mill's going on about you. Just want to clear a few things up. And I'm like, yeah, what's going on? Okay, do you smoke crack? I said, what? Do you smoke crack? Did you graduate from high school? I mean, it was all these crazy questions. And I thought about never coming back. I said, this place is crazy. Like, I'm that dude.
I think this is where he gets into it.
Dude. I just thought about all the things that celebrities go through and what celebrities become in our culture. You know, if you Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston and your marriage is breaking up, that's an awful thing. But to see that speculation in people gotta sting a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I realized, oh my God, I'm one of those people. That's a small club, man. That's a weird place to be. Ain't really no going back. You can't get unfamous. You can get infamous. Right. But you can't get unfamous.
Right.
So I got scared. I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I was scared to death. And I didn't touch the mic. But you know, it was cool, man. The first time I went back out in this thing.
Yeah, so I remember like watching this the first time, like when it was airing, and when he said like, you can't get unfamous. You can become infamous, but you can't become unfamous. And it's like you see some of the parallels with like some of the shit that's going on with Kanye, man. Like he goes through a divorce. He doesn't get to go through a divorce. He has to go through a divorce and a media circus about his divorce. I mean, can you imagine the whole fucking country is in on your divorce?
About his wife's new dude.
Right. You gotta go everywhere and you gotta see like the information of the new dude that's fucking your wife. It's fucking weird dropping my kids off from the weekend and like, you know, seeing stepdad. Imagine fucking like everywhere you go.
Man, it was in Cincinnati, so it's not far from the farm. I said, if I gotta run, I can get home fast. And club sold out real fast. I played a comedy club. And man, when I walked out on that stage and them people were screaming, I get teary-eyed just thinking about it. Because this industry can say whatever they want, but man, people will hold you up. And that crowd, man, my spirits were so low when they was just holding me up. And I hadn't told jokes, but this was just coming back like Karate Kid again. You're the best around. I was just doing it, man. I don't know how this whole Dave Chappelle thing is going to end, but I feel like I'm going to be some kind of parable by either what you're supposed to do or what you're not supposed to. So I'm going to be something.
I don't think this is it.
I'm either going.
You know, you have Chappelle's show. That again.
Was it too much at once?
Or do you feel it was deserved? Which it was?
I don't know. I deserved something. I mean, literally. It all seemed like a logical progression when I was a kid, but it didn't happen until I had responsibility.
Where is it? Where the fuck is it? I think maybe it's in there. Oh, here it is. It's fucking.
Oh, yeah, it's on Martin Lawrence.
Yeah, here we go.
When Martin Lawrence was in that chair, we talked about Blue Streak.
I love it.
He played a role in your life, I believe. How do you feel about him as a person, as an artist?
Martin Lawrence is the guy that showed everybody you can make it from D.C. to Hollywood. And I had a personal stake in his success. Every time he did something, it made me feel inspired and really good. And he was always real nice to me. He'd sit me down, what's going on with you, baby boy? What? We'd talk about comedy, whatever. And, you know, when we did Blue Streak, we were promoting it, and Martin had...
By the way, Blue Streak, great fucking film.
I love it.
This is a fucking hilarious fucking movie.
...a stroke.
nice
He
to
almost died.
leaving candy in front of
And Martin had a stroke. He almost died. And then after that, I saw him, and I was like, oh my God, Martin, are you okay? And he said, I got the best sleep I ever got in my life. That's how tough he is. So let me ask you this.
Right.
What is happening in Hollywood that a guy that tough will be on the street waving a gun, screaming, they are trying to kill me?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why is Dave Chappelle going to Africa? Why does Mariah Carey make a $100 million deal and take her clothes off on TRL? A weak person cannot get to sit here and talk to you. Ain't no weak people talking to you. So what is happening in Hollywood? Nobody knows. The worst thing to call somebody is crazy, is dismissive. I don't understand this person, so they're crazy. That's bullshit. These people are not crazy. They're strong people. Maybe the environment is a little sick.
Yeah, that's
a genius seems a madman to the fool.
right. And I think there's a conversation to be had for sure about like how fucked up Hollywood is and how destructive it is, and the handlers and the attention and the fame and the disgusting fucking way that you turn yourself into a product, you become a commodity. And you combine that with somebody like fucking Ye, who's clearly fucking got bipolar disorder, and nobody around him is good people. Nick Fuentes isn't good people. Milo's not good people. He's trading in handlers while he's in a manic state but that's the whole life he's ever known, is being a product. That's who Kanye West is a product to be bought and sold for your entertainment. He's not a human being anymore. And then you wonder why the guy goes on rants and raves about the Jews and shit. It's very clear he doesn't fucking understand half of what he's fucking talking about. I don't know. It's what it makes me think. I listen to Dave Chappelle talk about that, and it makes me kind of see this situation in a new light. It's a very special kind of fucked up environment that these people are subject themselves to, like a drug to feed their own narcissism.
Or a monkey's paw bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Not a monkey's paw bargain, but just, a monkey's paw.
Yeah, like a wish on a monkey paw, whatever. So,
also, Roland was saying that the last tweet for the night is out.
Yeah, it says, "Good night, everyone. Thanks to all those who picked up the phone in the last few days." The problem with the hacked materials ruling, several sources said, was that this normally required an official/law enforcement finding of a hack. But such a finding never appears throughout what one executive describes as a whirlwind 24-hour company-wide mess. Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking lefties circle jerking. But I'm so fucking happy to see all of the emails.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have some confirmation, at least.
And it's not, and people were like, name the names. He named a lot of names. It's been a whirlwind.
He put it out there.
It's been a whirlwind 96 hours for me too. There's much more to come, including answers to questions about issues like shadow banning, boosting, follower counts, the fate of various individual outcomes, and more. These issues are not limited to the political right. But whenever I can get my account unshadow banned, I'll be happy. Maybe Hunter hacked his nuts off. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it was one thing to see the entertaining clips, but it just keeps building, and it just, I don't know. It feels gross. I don't know.
I mean, it's clearly a disgusting industry. Like, what's?
Of course,
tell me a healthy actor. Give me the name of an actor you think is really mentally healthy right now.
Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt separates himself from so much of that bullshit and just keeps grounding himself in his church and is in all kinds of seedy shit, but still somehow manages to be like, y'all are freaking out? All right, I'm fucking out. But it's certainly a rarity. And for all I know, Chris Pratt's all fucked up, but like he seems like he's got a good head on his shoulders. You're looking at me like I wasn't supposed to have one.
No, I was looking over at chat.
Right. Well, I got to take a piss, and then I'm gonna hop on this panel with a whole bunch of people I don't know, and a couple of people I do know.
It?
What?
Wouldn't you rather leave it than take it?
I don't know what you're referencing to, and I'm hoping that it's not like a gay sex thing. So I'm just gonna let it
It's not a gay thing.
Right.
Somebody got it.
People just want to hate him. Yeah, true. Okay, it's not 10 CST. Okay, it's 9:54 CST, and I'm about to go take a piss and then go hop in. So I'll be right back.
I mean, it's not really a poop thing either. I mean, I guess technically it is. Yeah, no shit, it's an old joke. But he like his reference material is limited. Yours. Sorry, I gotta pop the headphones so I can hear him. So, for just so chat knows, he just goes, "You're such an asshole," and walks to the bathroom. Have I ever? How many times? How much clearer do I have to make it? Like, yeah, I'm a real prickly person, you know. I am not nice. What are you gonna do? I mean, I could try to be a better person, but I feel like it's too late. I'm pretty set in my ways. I'm a crotchety old man at, well, you guys don't need to know my exact age. That hothead mark. Yeah, I'm a bit of a temper. You thought I was AI this whole time? I mean, I do look like, what is it, Zordon? Zorder? What? I don't know. The nerd in the tube from Power Rangers. Scott probably knows his name. Or was Power Rangers like right after you?
Power Rangers when I was 8.
You can't remember all that shit?
No.
I remember tons of things from when I was 8.
No,
well, that was the pills. It's just a joke, man. I don't mean you were a pillhead. It's funny because, like, yeah, drugs would make you forget.
You made it seem like I was a fucking pillhead, you asshole. All right, let me get out of here and go hop on this panel.
God, you were so touchy about anything I say lately.
Yeah, it's almost like most people don't like being like shit on. I don't know. Like,
I don't shit
not into
on you.
scat, bro.
Sounded like it was earlier.
Let me figure out where the fuck I'm supposed to go. Off-stream hangout. Okay, this seems where people are at, so whatever, fuck it.
Scott.
Yo, what's up?
Told you it's Central Time, 10 Central Time. It's not for 2 hours.
What? When I googled it, it said that it was an hour behind CST.
Central Time.
CST time. What? What the fuck? Dude, I literally Googled it earlier and it was 1 hour off.
Yeah, I was like, Scott, no! It's too soon!
Wait, so hold on. What time is it Eastern Standard?
Right,
Panel.
It's 8 o'clock right now, so it's in 2 hours.
In 2 hours?
Yeah.
Dog, it's gonna be 11 o'clock at fucking night. We're gonna start a panel? What the fuck?
Bro.
Hold on, let me check my DMs from you so I can figure out if I fucked up. Because it looks like I fucked up. I'm on stream letting everybody know I'm an idiot too, which is even funnier. 'Cause I don't. $10 CST. You really did tell me 10 CST. Oh, I'm fucking thinking it was the other way around. Dude, I'm retarded.
Yo, Shadow Warned, I'm tired of East Coast supremacy, okay? I always use standard time. But
Why?
yeah,
Why would you use why? East Coast
'cause
is the only time that matters.
I'm all about the Midwest and the South.
There's nobody lives there, asshole.
I do.
There's more people living in New York City than in your fucking state.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Even though
Hold on. So wait, you guys are starting a panel at 11 o'clock Eastern.
Yeah, it's late night. It's after dark. It's Friday night.
Oh my God, dude. How long is the panel going to be?
Probably like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half? All right. Well, I might close up my stream and then just come hang out.
Okay.
And do the panel like while I'm not streaming mostly because I don't want to watch more of Kanye be crazy.
Yeah, that was hard to watch.
Yeah, it was super hard to watch. So I'll come hang out with you guys and just not stream it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, it's not. Why are you sorry? I'm the one that fucking got the time zones all fucked up.
I don't know. I just.
What did I ever respond with like my time? No, I did not. All right.
I was waiting for you to be like, damn, that's late, but you didn't. So
right? Like who the fuck does a panel in the middle of the fucking night? Like what is this? What is this retardation?
Bro, we go till like 4 a.m. over here. All right, we roll different.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna come hang out, but I'm not gonna stream it.
Okay.
Because I'm an idiot. All right, let me hop out.
All right, see ya.
See ya. Dude. Mark, where you at? Mark.
Really right here.
I mean, like, I don't mean like physically in the universe. I mean like in Discord.
I'm having to change over my audio because I have to like mute 2 volume bars when you stream.
Dude. All right, my bad, chat. I'm stupid. I just like assumed for whatever reason it was an hour. I was like, oh, it's an hour difference. 9 o'clock, that'll be fine. I didn't think that we were starting a panel in the middle of the fucking night while everyone's asleep. I wouldn't
Do
stream
people
that
need to
shit
start going
anyways.
through me to schedule shit with you?
Yes, but you don't want to talk to nobody. You don't want to do any of that shit. You're like, no. You handle. I can edit. I'm not talking to people. I don't like talking to people.
They are welcome to, like, if people are actually trying to schedule something with you, yeah, I'll fucking talk to them.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not good at that fucking like keeping in touch and like being buddies with people through DMs. It's like, yeah, if I can't like go out and like have a drink and a burger with you, like I'm probably gonna forget you.
I'm sorry, Logic. I'll still do the panel.
You should record it.
Fuck, dude. I'm maybe. We'll see. But like, I'm not streaming at that time because like that's the time. Like, I mean, not that like YouTube really matters because I don't mean like you guys don't matter because we're on YouTube, but I mean like it's not like our normal streaming schedule. But yeah, it's not our normal streaming time. Like we would have like 4 people in chat by the time it got to like midnight because it's not on Twitch and it's like at a time when we're not usually streaming. Like it wouldn't be worth it.
It's a Friday night. Everybody be out drinking and partying with the big ballers.
With ballers. All right, so I will. I'll record it probably and then put it up sometime over the weekend. If you guys don't want to watch it on Blizza or somebody else's shit. That's why Scott was like, it's 10 CST. I mean, like Binks was like, Scott, it's 10 CST. And I'm like, let me take a piss. I didn't realize that it was like fucking late night shit. I'm so stupid. All right. If you guys want a reason for why I'm not famous yet, this is one of the reasons. It's because I am terrible about scheduling shit.
All right, I'm going to take that over.
Not even Twitch stream protest lays down the net highway and blocks traffic. Dude, why would I fuck up my Twitch numbers to stream like at a weird time on a day we don't normally stream? It wouldn't help me.
For a panel that most people don't know about.
All right, boys. Well, we're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for showing up, at least for me to talk about Kanye and shit. I thought it was at 9 that we were starting the panel. My bad. But nevertheless, she persisted. We are not monetized yet, so we can't rate anybody. Oh, yeah, do check out the summit. Who schedules a show between 8 p.m. EST Friday and 4 a.m. EST Saturday? Right? Thank you.
I mean, some people can get away with it.
Yeah, I was just like, wait a minute, hold on. What are you doing? Like, go party. Don't watch me. Watch that shit on Sunday or something when it's uploaded on YouTube.
Watch it for your Saturday come down.
All right, well, y'all have a good night. People without girlfriends? I mean, I don't have a girlfriend. That's why I'm going to be on the panel. I appreciate you guys. We'll be back Monday. We'll probably do Prime Guys or something Monday. Tuesday on Twitch, and that's on Twitch. Tuesday on Twitch is the big debate between Jangles and I on groomer discourse and the usage of the word groomer on modern day debates. So you can catch it on modern day debates on YouTube, or preferably you could watch it on Twitch with me. And then, of course, we have the Tuesday after that. We're going to do our charity stream. Be in the Discord, and we will start putting stuff together. I've got a lot of ideas floating around. Kind of want to like get some of those ideas put out there to you guys, like once I can confirm them and we have the stuff for them, before I like start taking suggestions. But join the Discord, follow us on Twitch, follow us on Twitter. It's Fabian Liberty everywhere. Y'all have a good night. Did you want to do anything before we got out of here, Mark?
I just wanted to inform everyone that Florida man steals neighbor's peacock, gets chased by angry birds.